shout and sometimes sneer. Memories from all those years. Console wars and secret tips. Tips and tricks from pixel trips. News that pours from gaming sips. Critical minds and candid lips. And Generation X gaming show. Tune in where the thoughts flow. Rant and rave with words that glow. Weekly stories make them go.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another day, another week, another episode of Generation X Gaming, a weekly podcast that goes over a few of the top stories from the past week, and we rant along the way. I'm your host, 30 and Still Gaming, or 30NSG, and joining me each and every single week is Sgt Mclusky. What's going on, bro?
Another Thursday, time warped.
I just went on vacation. The show ended. I got in a car, drove 9 hours, and here I am again. I'm like back already.
It's that quick.
Super quick. Yeah. I went 1,100 feet underground to go see a waterfall, a 90-foot waterfall.
The waterfall was underground?
Underground waterfall, yeah.
Did you go behind it?
You can't go behind it. They have like a railing that you have to go up to. It's pitch black when you get in there, right? Like it's pitch black. You walk in a mile. You start at 265 feet. You go down an elevator. Okay, you're at 265 feet, and then as you walk a mile, you go under 1,100 feet of ground because obviously they're underneath the mountain. And you get to the end, and there's a fucking waterfall, and then they have these lights that pop up and music plays, and you're like, oh, it's cool, but it's a misery because the guy who found it in 1932 or 1928, whatever, right? Yeah. He had to crawl through an 18-inch hole, right? A mile.
You didn't.
I know that. Listen to this, right? He had to crawl 18 inches for a mile. Well, almost. It was actually half a mile before you could stand up, and then he could walk through the rest of the cave to find this waterfall that he found, right? We're down there. This is what a moneymaker this is, right? They have 40 people per group. Okay, so our group is 40 people. The group in front of us is 40 people. The group in front of that is 40 people. There's like 400 people in this cave system. And the worst part about this, Sarge, is that you have to pass each other. So like the first group that got to see the waterfall is now on their way back. Okay. And everyone that's walking towards it, you have to skinny up. Okay. And
why? Why don't they just widen that shit?
That's my point, right? So like the guy that was by himself in 18 inches, I would rather do that than be shoved in a cave system like sardines. And every time there's people freaking out, right? And this is not a joke. There was a woman, want to say she's close to 300 pounds.
Oh God, no.
300 pounds. She wasn't in our group. She's coming back, right? So the whole group's coming back. Right, my son's.
What are we supposed to do? Commando crawl past her? What are we supposed to do here?
Yeah, so there's certain parts that if they're coming by, it doesn't matter where you are. You have to find a spot. You gotta cram yourself up against a corner, right? My son is small, so he just squats down. And he like tucks himself underneath like the rocks that you can't get under and stuff, and he just sits there and he's fine, right? I'm like, yeah, right. She comes by, the whole group comes by, like 36 people come by. And then we think we're free, and then all of a sudden we hear, hold on.
You hear the music from Monarch? No.
Yeah.
No.
So she comes in, and she's got her family behind her of 5. She comes in, she's like, hey y'all. She's a Southern woman. She's like, hey y'all. And I'm like, are you okay? You gonna make it? She's like, okay. She's like freaking out, and she's a mile because she just got out of the cave where the waterfall is, and I'm like, oh my God! I was like, she's gonna clog the hole, and then we're all gonna be stuck down here for like hours, right? It was
137 hours too.
Yeah. Hey, the best part is that it's like 65 degrees, 72 degrees underneath there the whole time. But the weird part is that waterfall is the only reason there's air down in that cave, because where the waterfall comes in and where the water hits and stuff, it dispersed the humidity, and then the humidity gets shoved down the corridor and stuff. So I was like, holy shit. I was like, we're gonna be stuck down here. It was a good time. It's called Ruby Falls in Chattanooga, Tennessee. It's on the south part of Tennessee.
Well, in case the world goes to hell, Mike, we need to know that's where you have to go.
Well, it was cool stuff. We saw 4 different waterfalls at different locations. There was another waterfall we went to, a state park, and we had to walk a mile. What's that?
Did you get behind that one?
I couldn't. I tried. I was like, can I get behind? It was just a wall of water.
Sure, it's always just a wall.
Yeah, there was no secret entrance there. So, but yeah, that was my experience. So we had a nice time. Went to another place called Helen, Georgia. It's like a small little German town. Let me tell you something. I've never seen a town so small and have so much shit to do. I felt jealous. Right? They had a roller coaster. What do you call those? Individual carts. A mountain coaster where you have the brake.
Yeah.
Right? They had that.
You don't really brake.
Yeah, there's no brakes. You're just wide open. Right?
Yeah.
Wide open. You're like, I hate it. You're freaking out, right? So we did that. They have 3 miniature golf courses in this small little town. They have a slot car track. Let me tell you, this is a fucking moneymaker. Okay, you walk into this giant like abandoned building. It looks like you walk in.
It was
32 scale slot cars. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
They had 3 tracks. Okay, one track packed. Okay, 6 lanes, people waiting to go, and just old guys with a controller in their hand. They're like, right, and they're going around the track.
Yeah, because they've been playing since they were 7.
Yeah. How much do you think it costs to do the race car, to do that? How much do you think it costs?
Well, how long is the race?
5 minutes.
It's 5 minutes or it's laps?
5 minutes.
5 minutes, $15.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's for that one track, it was $5 for 5 minutes. For the other giant track, it was $10 for 5 minutes. And then for the NASCAR Daytona 500 track that they had,
It's an oval.
okay, yeah, but it's gigantic. Like it was the entire building.
Do you race stock cars on it? Is it stock cars?
You do.
Nice.
Okay.
You got any video of this?
We didn't race that. We didn't get to race that.
What?
Right.
What do you mean you didn't get to race that?
We raced the other ones, but we didn't race the Daytona one. Right. It was expensive, man. It's expensive.
Well, you did too. You did too. You're in it now.
Yeah. No. So, but
wait a minute. Is there video of this? You got video?
I don't have video. I didn't take video. I'm a person that enjoys the moment that I'm in.
Yeah, but you're supposed to advertise it to your family members. Let us know when we want to go there. Right? Can I look the place up online?
You know, I forget. I'm sure if you go to Helen,
you don't even know what the name of the place is.
No, I don't. But listen, you go to Helen, Georgia. It's the only fucking slot car place in the town, so you're not going to miss it.
So that's what I'll type into Google.
Yeah,
Helen, Georgia, fucking slot car track.
Fucking slot car track. You'll find it.
Got it.
Right. But really cool. And like the way they had it set up, they had the 3 tracks, and then they had like a pit crew. Like, but let me tell you something. That is expensive because they had 4 guys around the track. So anytime your car crashed, these guys were like
ninjas.
They were like, it crashed. They were like, right. They were like throwing it back on and get it right back in that track. I was like, holy shit, because you're paying for your time and you're going around, right? Anytime it stopped, and you have to find like the sweet spot. You don't want to floor it,
of course,
right? You don't want to.
That's the whole racing of slot cars, bro.
Yeah, and
that's why the big old guys are just doing this the whole time.
Yeah, that's all he was doing. They're like,
you know why?
Do you know why they do this?
Do you know why they do
so
this?
His beard could feel it? I have no idea.
Nope. It's so you get that smell of the electric.
Is that what it is?
The exhaust of it. Yeah, that's why they do this.
The little electronic smell that comes off of the thing.
Yeah, because you remember that when you were a kid. Yeah, that's exactly
the cars they sold there. The cars they sold, $100, $150, $200 for a slot car, 32 scale. I was like, this is cool.
It makes me want to get one, but no place to put it.
Yeah. So that was my adventure for the thing.
I mean, think about for kids' parties. Everyone just comes over there, boom, 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 knock out races all day. They're making like $2-3 grand.
Oh, Alpine slot car. Actually, the coaster was called the Alpine Coaster. Now that you said that, All right, chat. So Generation X Gaming is a weekly podcast that goes over a few of the top stories in the past week, and we rant along the way. We're here live 8 p.m. Eastern, right here on YouTube at 30NSG. We're live right now on Twitch, and we're also live on Twitter as well. If you guys like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that follow button, hit any button that does the thing for whatever platform you're watching on. On today's show, we're going to be talking about Marathon a little bit. We're going to be talking about PlayStation 5. We're going to be talking about Starfield a little bit. We're going to be talking about some layoffs a little bit. We're going to talk about Crimson Desert a little bit. We're going to talk about Val Kilmer a little bit. And with AI, we're going to talk about Highguard. We're going to talk about Jeff Kaplan, and we're going to talk about DLSS 5 as well, and whatever else pops up in the chat. We do Q&A near the end. If you guys have any questions throughout the thing, if you put a Q in, we'll mark that for later inside the actual chat. And let's get started. So let's get to what we've been playing, Sarge. Water Bear is not going to be here. He's right now.
I already know that. I know
he's in the desert.
He's right. He's in. That's it.
He's probably shut all the lights off.
Yes.
Right. He's got the air conditioner like cranked up.
Headphones on.
He's in the zone.
Yeah, dude. That's how I play.
All right.
Dark room.
Another week. What have you been playing? I didn't play much this week. What did you play?
You were on vacation. How the hell are you gonna play that? You told me you were
you told me
you were only tech free. You said you were trying to go tech free.
I played yesterday. I played today.
No, I'm saying on vacation. You said you were going.
Yeah, I didn't play shit. I didn't play shit on vacation.
Exactly. Well, on Game Pass, they released the Final Fantasy series, and I played the Final Fantasies that I never got to play because they were Japanese only. So right now I'm playing Final Fantasy 2, and after that one I'm gonna play 3. So I'm playing that one. I've been playing that one for like 3 or 4 hours.
Like 3 that used to be on the Nintendo 3?
That's 3 for us. There's a 2 that was only Japanese that wasn't here.
Oh, okay, okay.
That's the one I'm playing. Which it's all redone. You know, you could play the cheesy music if you want to play the cheesy music, but it's got the redo music on there. I've always liked the Final Fantasy series. I'm going to play through them. Of course, I've been playing Space Marine. I'm trying to get
get your Tech Marine up to max.
No, it's like 22. I think he's like 22, like that. I'm close. I played Helldivers with you. I played Helldivers a little bit.
For Helldivers comes out tomorrow, by the way.
What, the new update?
One of the updates comes out tomorrow on the 20th. Yeah.
We'll see how badly it goes first. I never like to play the update when it first comes out because I always know it's going to be
something broke. Yeah,
some train wreck going to happen. What else? I played a little bit of. I'm playing Fallout 4 playthrough because I had a little post-apocalyptic itch to scratch. And then Crimson Desert, you know, I get it, but you know me.
Hype is real.
You know me.
No pre-orders. No day one.
I just wait.
Full price.
I just wait.
There is issues right now with it. So a lot of people are.
I'm sure there is, but it's not going anywhere. Right? It's not going anywhere. Once again, tried Hell Let Loose. Couldn't find a group. Had to stop playing because I can't play that game like Call of Duty or Battlefield. I got to be in a group. So I get in. I go through the squads. I start talking. Anyone here? You know, I'm going down the list.
Right.
Like, anyone's talking, and then the one person who does talk sounds like he's been drinking wild turkey for 3 hours, and it's like he's not. You can't really talk to him for too long. Because he just starts ranting. You can't hear nothing. You can't hear explosions or footsteps. He's just talking constantly. Like, yeah, I was out for 2 hours to play this game. Woo! And then I can't hear shit. I can't hear shit. So
he's like Skeeter.
Yeah, it's almost like that. I wish I could sleep less and deeper so I could have more time to do the things I want to do because I had to do some errands and stuff, and that sucks up. That sucks up part of the day. So, there was one other one. There's one other one. Can't remember. It blank. Oh yeah, the RTSs. You know, I'm always playing the RTSs.
I played. We played Helldivers 2. I played a little bit of Towerborn again when I got back. I've been playing some Minecraft with my son. He's got some mods and stuff that he wants to play. I played Construction Simulator that was on Game Pass. I
thought
like
it was
it.
cool. You get to build the actual town.
Yeah, I like it. I played the tutorial part of it, which is like 5 missions. It gives you the gist of it. Pretty complicated because I like snow runners.
It's like
snow runners. Yeah, snow runners and roadcraft. When you're using the construction vehicles, like I thought it was gonna be like the same type of controls, but it's a completely different control scheme because it's not the same people. The driving of the vehicles feel very arcadey, but then like really cool, like using the crane and like grabbing the letters off the motel and like delivering them, putting them on the flatbed and stuff like that, digging out holes and putting concrete and stuff, like construction, right? But you get to absolutely run the construction company after the tutorial. Like you get the business and you have to
do everything.
You have to do everything. And I was just like, whoa. I was like, okay, this is going to take more time than I wanted to take. So I played the tutorial, didn't play it after that, but I thought it was pretty cool for what it is. But a game I played right before, Winzo sent it to me. It reminded me of this because it was the day. Now it's coming out today. It's called Retro Rewind. Okay. It's a blockbuster video simulator, basically. Okay. No, it's
stop it. So my first job.
Yeah, it's TCG card simulator, but with blockbuster video, basically, right?
Is it the same color scheme?
No. Well, no. You're in the video store. I mean, obviously, you're thinking video rental store and stuff like that, right? The guy's eyes are like they're like gigantic. They're
he's cracked out from watching movies.
They look retarded. Okay, it does a really good job, though. The demo does. It's very simple. It's like 3 levels right now of leveling up. You come into the store. Behind the counter, there's like a slushy machine. There's a rewind. There's like the drop-off box, and then when people return videos, you've got to check them in, right?
You could skip all this. It's my job.
No, I understand.
Remember the job,
but you have to like put some stuff in there to rewind it. To put them in. Then there's tapes that you have to put on the reserve, and the people come in, they ask for certain things. Okay.
Yes.
In the back office.
Should I take over? Should I take over? Just tell you how I do my job?
You have to buy random movies at the beginning, right? So like horror, drama, right? And each movie that you click on, it says like drama, bad, good critic, whatever. It says like if it's a good movie, a bad movie, and stuff like that. So then you got to put them on the shelves.
You have to base it off of what may or may not be critically good for actual customers.
And then people come in. And they ask, "Hey, I went through a breakup. I'm looking for."
I'm gonna go crazy if you start telling me the phrases. I know all the phrases,
right? But they're like, "I did a breakup. I need a movie, a drama that's a bad movie, or I'm about to go on a date, but I really don't want to go on the date. So can you give me a really bad movie so the guy doesn't want to see me again?" And I'm like, "Okay." So you go up to the thing, you look at it, and you go, "Hey, here you go," right? So it starts to build up, and you have to start rotating the inventory, right? So like the old movies that are out that are not selling anymore, you got to put them in the bargain bin, and then you have to sell those things. They do a really good job. And I know someone's looking at this going, this doesn't sound fucking exciting at all. But if you like those business type of simulator games,
my eyes are starting to twitch already. You see
the developers, I think it's like 2 people that
my eyes starting to twitch.
They did a really good job.
I guarantee you the guy worked at Blockbuster.
100% had to, right? They did a really good job of capturing what's happening. So you have to put the display cases, and as you level up, I watched someone else play it because I just played the demo. His thing looked awesome. Like he had the whole system, the shelves, arcade machines, the new rental row. He had all the posters lined up and the big cardboard cutouts and the thing. He had the neon signs, all this stuff. There's someone that comes to the back door on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 9 p.m. right as you close, okay? And you have to go in the back room.
And he gives the bookie money?
No, he opens up the door, and he's got a little table outside, and he sells dirty movies, like adult movies.
Yeah, okay? But it's really the bookie.
And bootleg copies, like the fake movies, right? So you get to pick some of those, and you put them on your shelf and stuff. It's hilarious. And then like they do so many like Easter eggs and like shout outs and call outs to like different movies from the 80s and 90s and stuff like that. On your calendar, okay, on the calendar that you pick, on Tuesdays is the brand new movie day. So you have to order the movies, and you have to figure out what movie you want to order That's the new release that's going to do good or bad. They
But
do
you
a
don't
really
know.
good job.
But you don't know how many copies they get because
Right.
otherwise
And if
you
you
don't
order
rank.
too many copies, then you're going to have to sell them afterwards and whatnot. I played it for like an hour, and I was like, this is actually pretty good if you're looking for that type of game. If you like TCG card sim, or if you like tabletop game like that, like the bookstore one, same type of game, fun little game. It doesn't take itself too seriously, but at the same time, it does a really good job at doing a business simulator of the video
And it's
game.
okay, and it's okay to make fun of it because the job doesn't exist anymore.
Right.
You can do
Jesse
whatever you
Max
want.
says that's my third job as a teen back in the day. I never worked at the video store. My wife did, and my brother did. She worked at Hollywood Video, I think it was called back in the day,
Well,
which is
first
in the same location. Which is in the same location that you worked at when it was called
Right.
Video Extron.
Right. First, I worked at Video Extron.
Yeah, Video Extron.
Then I worked at Blockbuster.
Yeah, then
after Video
Blockbuster
Extron
got built across the street. Yeah,
you knocked them out when they took them away.
yeah. But yeah, that's what I've been playing. I was thinking I'm on the cusp. I was like, let me look at some footage of Crimson Desert. Let me see gameplay on X. I was like, let me see if it's going to be good. I might buy it this weekend. I'm going to hold off a little bit because I want to see what it does. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of pop in I saw, and that was on the PC. So I think it's going to be worse on Xbox. They did a patch, and we'll talk about that a little bit when we get to Crimson Desert. So anything else? Anything else you've been playing?
No, I need some more time. I still want to do another run through of Baldur's Gate. I haven't got a chance to do that yet. Because now I learned the characters finally. What kind of character class, multi-class you're supposed to do to get a powerful character by the end. And I haven't done that yet. So I got games in backlog for months. I'm not worried about anything coming out right now. I give everything at least 90 days.
All right, let's go to top stories. All right. Pone says the frame rate is bad on the PlayStation 5 Pro. Are they playing Crimson Desert on performance? Are they playing it on quality? Are they playing what are they doing?
That
Pone?
matters. That matters.
Right? Are they playing at 1080p 30 or are they playing at 4K? What are they playing at? Duplo says my Hollywood Video is a pet food store now. Can you bring back a movie, Dupless, and go, I need to return this and see if they take it back?
No, but fun fact, you can do that to Nordstrom's.
Nordstrom's takes back anything. I don't. Well, when I worked there, they take back anything. I don't know if they still do that. I would assume they would. It was part of they train you on that.
Nuts.
They train you on that.
But you basically talk to someone like they're not there. It's like, hi, I'd like to return this lawnmower from Sears from 14 years ago.
True story.
That's very nice.
Yeah.
Let me get the paperwork for you. We'll take that right now. Like, what are we talking about, bro? You stand next to them. You're like, did he just say he was going to accept a 14-year-old Sears lawnmower at Nordstrom's? What the fuck is happening right now?
Yep.
And by the way, not store credit.
No cash. They'll give you cash. Out of the drawer.
Cash.
Again, I don't know if they still do it, but they used to. Krebsy says it's bad on console in general. But what's bad about it? Like, is that a personal preference? Like, it looks bad because it's like below 60 frames, or is it like crashing?
Or is this bad in general?
Yeah. Like
it's
bad.
It's bad. It's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
Duplo says Costco lets you return anything within reason. Like if it's past, they'll let you return anything as long as it's within the 14-day, 30-day cycle. After that, they won't take back.
Well,
Ron says Costco does not accept copies of Concord.
It's not hard. There's no hard copies. What are you returning? A digital copy?
All right, let's go. Let's talk about.
You need glasses all turning. It's not blurry. It's just you.
Let's talk about the first story of Marathon, Sarge. We have two stories of Marathon, okay? We have Marathon's community crushes the Cryo Archive puzzle, unlocks the release date, and learns the map is only playable on the weekends.
So
Okay.
trials.
So this is the thing that was leading up to don't
Trial.
review this game. Don't review this game until this comes out, right? So then the community gets it through and says, after weeks of teasers, Marathon's fourth map is right around the corner. No, like for real this time. The Cryo Archive map option has appeared on Marathon with a countdown ending tomorrow, March 20th. That's the same time that has come complicated ranked mode arrives. Okay. To commemorate the Dodge community solving the Cryo Archive ARG, Bungie unlocked a launch trailer that gives us a closer look at the endgame map. Yet, it says, what I'm reacting immediately, extremely close quarters and its density. Realization of the only alien on the map might be I don't know how you say that. What is that?
Spit
compiler hiding on the ship. It said that would also be disappointing because I was half expecting Cryo Archive to introduce a full-on secondary faction of the Svit alien pulled from the original Marathon games. But aside from that, Bungie's own description of the Cryo Archive in a blog post published today confirms that the map will be dense with puzzles. Okay,
more puzzles.
More puzzles. Intensely cranked
now
up
with more puzzles.
Yeah, on the top, Cryo Archive is a pinnacle challenge that will take many runs to learn and master. The playstyle, think raid-style puzzle solving, layered with mechanics wrapped around the brutal extraction stakes, and designed a labyrinth layout where tight quarters give away a massive open spaces, putting enemies' crews against each other in unsealed frozen vaults. It says the blog goes on to explain how this map will make the other three look like a walk in the park. Apparently, there's a whopping 7 vaults packing some of the most lucrative loot in the game, some of which can't find anywhere else.
You know, no surprise, though. Keywords, though. You keep using the keywords, vault.
Yeah. To no surprise for a seasoned Destiny player, but sort of surprised me, Bungie also says the Cryo Archive will operate like a ranked Trials of Osiris mode in Destiny 2. It'll only be available on the weekends. That might prove controversial for basic accessibility accessibility reasons. But in timing around the weekend limitations also makes it a whole puzzle business look more arbitrary. This puzzle seems to be wrapping up close to the date of Bungie was probably aiming no matter what. So there you go. So they have this new map that's coming out, and it's only on the weekends. So
trials.
Here's why I think a lot of people, which kind of goes into the next story here of Paul Tassi says, why are people hating Marathon as a sport? Okay.
Not a sport.
And I think what I just said to you right now is people that were playing Destiny 2. I think the biggest haters right now are people that wanted Destiny 3. Not people that don't like extractions, but people that truly love Destiny and they wanted them to support Destiny more going in. Again, this is my speculation. I don't know if this is...
Well, this gives them a reason to, so I don't know why they're disappointed.
So they stopped supporting the PvP in Destiny to make this standalone game of PvP to make it more like Destiny. You know what I mean? Like trials and stuff like that. So I think a lot of people are upset with that. So let's read on here for why people are hating on Marathon. He says
it's not a hate. It's just telling you how they feel about it. The guys who are playing, they're just saying it's not hate.
Yeah, but he's saying in this, I read this earlier today. He says, while it's not the first game to be hated, the term DOA began spreading more viral at the release of Concord in 2024, which is in fact dead on arrival. It's very likely the biggest video game disaster in the history, which is true. It is. He says, was this Concord bad? No, it's not Concord bad. And I think a lot of people are missing the point here. And a lot of people take what the meme is. The meme is Concord, right? Like if you see a game that's shitty, you're like, oh, it's Concord. That's a Concord. Okay. But for some reason, the journalists and like people in the industry don't look at it as, oh, it's a meme, it's Concord. They truly think that this game is like Concord.
Okay. First of all, bad is an arbitrary statement, right? You think a game is bad, somebody else thinks the game is good, right? When a journalist says, was Concord actually bad? Like you're pretending like you don't know, right? We're not talking about whether the individual person liked the game or not. We're talking about if the company gets to remain open and people don't get fired because of it, right? The game didn't do well. People got fired. The studio shut down. It's bad. It's not an opinion or controversial to say the game is bad. To say the game is bad first, maybe you should stay quiet for a little bit longer. But when the studio closes and it loses millions of dollars and they have to fire everybody, that's bad. It's got nothing to do with how you feel about it. It makes no sense, bro. I don't understand why
being toxic.
You can't convolute both things. If you feel that if you don't like the game, that's great. You don't like it. The position that I talk when I talk on the show about a game being good or bad. If you ask me I like a game or not, I tell you if I like the game or not.
Yeah.
But if someone says to me, "Hey, Sarge, do you think the game is bad?" and I go, "Well, has it been out long enough yet? Like, did everyone get fired? Did they have to close the studio down?" If those things happen, then yes, the game was bad. That's how it works. Yeah, your trash night-a-thon that everyone keeps trying to defend shit. I don't get it. Right? Let the game be. Right? I told you 90 days. Right? We're not. This is week 1. Right? Week 2.
Week 2.
Right? We're on week 2.
Well,
it's got 90 days. So give it some time.
This is what happened while I was on vacation, Sarge. Someone decided that they would make a website called the Flopathon. All right, Flopathon has been created.
I sent that to you. I thought that was the most hilarious thing ever.
Has been created to track player count, showing which games are living or dying like it's a sport. I thought it was a little bit until I realized
it's a business. Right? It's a business.
Well,
do you live or die? Do you live or die?
It says right here, watch games die in real time. Flopathon tracks the biggest gaming disasters as they unfold. See live player counts plummet. Vote on which games are true flops and roast them with the community. Now, I have no problem. I have no problem with this.
I love this.
I have zero issue with this, right? Because there's no difference between what this is and what Steam is. The Steam charts look at it and people go, that number's low. That's a failure. That number's high. That's successful, which is the exact same thing the corporations did before it was bad to shitty on bad numbers, right? There's billion-dollar industries based off box office numbers for movies, TV ratings for television and whatnot, right? They're like, hey, this show, no matter what you think, if it's shitty or not, it had 10 million rating on, 10 million viewers last night. They did this to show you that 10 million people like this thing, and it doesn't matter what you say. But now when it's the opposite direction,
now it's a problem.
Like, right.
Now it's a problem.
Now
it's a problem.
67 people are playing your game and like, yeah, these are just the numbers that no one cares about.
These are toxic.
The game, bro. You're
toxic.
So toxic. It's like, what are we doing? Right? Box office numbers tell you if a movie's number 1 at the box office, and they promote that. They used to have commercials. These things called commercials.
Number 1.
Right. Number one at the box office this weekend, right? All of this was things that they used to push and promote stuff because it was good. Numbers are good. Greater than, less than. We always have this conversation on this podcast. Greater than, less than. If number's lower than other number, then it's a failure, right? So everyone's like, it's not a failure. It looks like Marathon kind of just leveled off. It found its player base. That's cool. Great. Did it make its $250 million back? No? Okay, cool. Laura Fryer made a video, who worked in the industry, and said in her video, she goes, has it made its money back? Most likely not. Will it make it? We'll have to wait and see, right? Because right now, the number, greater than, less than, right? $250 million times the amount of people are playing, which is around 3 million. They need 7. They need 7 million people.
I don't think it's 3 million people.
Well, even if it is, they still need 7 to be successful. Now, obviously, there's microtransactions on top of that, battle passes, and it can subsidize the actual number.
Sure.
So they don't have to sell it $40. They could sell it. One person paid $50, $60, $70 because they got microtransactions or whatever. But so there is this flopathon here. It says Marathon also launched. The numbers aren't exactly sitting out fireworks, the Sony or Bungie. This is shutting down anytime soon. No. It was one of the top-selling games on Steam and the console for time. Not free-to-play, but $40 as such. All player count figures are paid players. We are roughly at 120 times the levels we saw with Concord. Now, I love this. I love when they're like, this game's not doing bad because Concord is the less than of this greater than, less than. And they're like, well, this is not as bad as this, so this is good.
I'm not as bad as a tire fire.
Right.
Congratulations.
Right. Battlefield 6 is the exact same thing. Battlefield 6 is the best Battlefield since 2042. Well, 2042 was a trash fire, so obviously Battlefield 6 is better than that.
Can you be better than a trash fire?
Right. I love when they do this, right? So Marathon peaked at 3. There's really no comparison. He says, but we also hasn't stopped a brigade of people. Sometimes it feels like an army cheering on for the game that failed to the point where streamers have to stop the actual ask their chat to shut up. First of all, now we're getting into streaming and chat. If you're a streamer, you literally, just like the guy made a video game or the person made a record or a person made a television series and they got fans because of the thing that you created. If you're a content creator and you grew your channel on extraction shooter, say, I don't know, Burnt Peanut right now is the largest streamer on planet Earth, okay, because of Arc Raiders. Arc Raiders, he went hard with Arc Raiders, very entertaining, okay? His fandom that liked him playing, even though he plays other games, they liked him for Arc Raiders. Now, if he plays another game, they're like, I don't like you playing this game because the reason I started watching you, the reason you're successful, the reason that you have all the money and the advertisements and all of these things is because the fans watched you for this thing. Now you don't want to play this thing, and they're going to push back. Just like when an artist makes an album and they're like, I don't like your album. Go back to your hard rock. Go back to your thing. When the movie comes out and they're like, we don't want this shit. We don't want sequel after sequel. Go make another movie. Stop wrecking the stuff that we want. There's nothing different. All of this is the exact same. All of it. Same. Right? So when they're like, guys, just stop. You made your bed. You wanted to play Fortnite, right? Ninja did this with Fortnite in the back. Became a multi-millionaire, young, right? Then he played other things like, I can't enjoy games. That is what you laid. That's the bed you made, man. Right? This is why no one did Variety back in the day. They only did Destiny. They only did Division. They only did Overwatch because they wanted to get traction. And then when they build that up, they're mad when the people that watch them don't like what they're doing anymore. It boggles my mind. It really does. Because it's always going to happen. You're never going to please everybody. But if you still want to keep making the money that you're making, you're going to have to play the games that your chat wants you to play. Otherwise, if you don't care and you make so much money, then you don't care anymore.
Okay, but you have to remember there are certain games that are inside this exclusive club. Like you don't know which games that is until you start seeing the narrative being driven by certain journalists or certain media, right? So this one had to survive. So they have to keep backing it up. And the issue is that by the same methods that they use to bump up and hype a game is the same method now that I can bring a game down. And before, when companies used to hype up, pay for shills, lie about the game, tell you about things inside the game that didn't exist just to hype up the game more, they could do all those things in order to sell copies. That's totally fine. Now we have people that play the game and or watch the game being played and they don't like it. And so they start talking about their experience with it. This is why I don't like it. That's a problem for them now because you're not controlling the narrative, right?
Right.
That's the issue, right? You can see it in the writing of the articles. Hey, bro, let me ask you a question. Did anybody say anything at all about Firebreak? Did anybody say a goddamn word about Firebreak?
Yeah, here, look. Firebreak right here.
Right?
Look, right?
Did anybody say that Firebreak was
How
Concord?
come this wasn't Concord or High Guard?
Firebreak wasn't Concord, right? Firebreak wasn't a problem. Nobody gave a shit about Firebreak. You want to know why? Not part of the narrative. Yeah. Not part of the narrative that they wanted to decide what was good and what was bad. Right? Once again, bro, 2-3 games that we all care about, 18,000 that we don't. And how many of these journalists stamp the flag in the ground? And I won't say it out loud, but you know who they are, right? Because why else would you trash night a game this hard? Why? Because somebody asked you to, right? That's why. Nobody asked anyone to do shit about Firebreak.
Yeah, but
yeah, it's active.
You're saying it remains active, but look at the number, right? If it's about the number and everyone's like, oh, you only talk about the numbers when they're bad. These are terrible fucking numbers, right? Do you really think Firebreak is successful in any way, shape, or form? No, it's not successful in any way, shape, or form. But no one's throwing this underneath the bus and saying it's Concord or High Guard or anything like that. They don't care.
No words at all.
They don't care.
No words at all.
They're just like, yeah, whatever, right? It is what it is. Aku says, Aku, there's no thing here. There's no talking TTS for this one. Sorry. It says, it's so obvious Jeff was paid by sleepy Joe Biden and simps for anything made by Bungie. I would never simp for Bungie. So many bad decisions. That's just a Trump.
I don't understand.
Thank you very much for $5. Appreciate that.
I don't understand the complete and total surrender to the journalist facade. right? You played it or you didn't play it. You watched it or you didn't watch it. What people say about something is the same thing that you guys said about games for years. Now that the shoe's on the other foot, now it's a problem, right? That's the issue I have. It goes both ways. If you're allowed to hype up a game, pay for shills, pay for things in order to get sales, and then we're not allowed to badmouth your game because we feel that it's bad because we're gamers and we know what's good and bad because we've been playing long enough, right? There was an example you gave to me a little while back about what gives you the right to criticize a game that you haven't played. What was the description you gave me? It was football coach. Remember?
Oh yeah. This morning, yeah, and I talked about that this morning. Yeah, you don't need to. There's another story about Jeff Kaplan talking about if you don't like a game, I don't fucking care, right? I actually his let me bring up his exact quote that he said. Right, he says Jeff Kaplan is sick of hearing you demonize games that you were going to play anyway. Shut the fuck up. No one cares. We don't need to hear you that you weren't into it. Now, he is 100% correct if we go back in time and it's the year 2000. And the internet is not what the internet is today. And nobody can see what other people are playing. And the only online games were MMOs, right? That was basically it.
That's correct.
Now, Jeff Kaplan talks about if you didn't play it, right, then sort of like Randy Pitchford said, have you seen it? Did you see it? If you didn't see it, you don't know if it's bad or not. No, Randy, we know it's bad. We saw the trailers. Okay. Today in 2025, 2026, right now, Crimson Desert just came out at 6 p.m., 2 hours ago.
Yeah.
If I've never played the game before, I have more information about Crimson Desert right now that I could tell you if I like it, don't like it. I could tell you if it's good or bad because there's thousands, tens of thousands of people playing it, and I can just click on button and watch it for the next 30 minutes, 40 minutes, hour, 10 hours, 5 hours, whatever. And I have more information in my brain to go back to your football coach, like I said, okay? There's football coaches, baseball coaches that have never, ever played the sport themselves, but they know everything about that sport because they grew up watching it, right? They didn't have that talent. They just couldn't play the game, but they know everything about the statistics and the playbook and all this other stuff. They never played sports. Are they allowed to tell the players that are on the field what to do if they've never played the sport? No. Of course they can. Of course they can tell people that because they know what they know because of all the things they've watched, all the things they've seen, all the information they've read. So when Jeff Kaplan comes out and says, if you haven't played the game, we don't give a shit about you. Well, you should, because all
we're
of
the
those
ones,
people,
we're the ones that are paying you.
Right. We're the people that are paying you. And we could tell you if a game is bad or good because sometimes people make the games and they have blinders on. They think that their thing is the best thing ever. High guard. Okay. Best thing ever. It's the greatest game. And then they're like, how come no one's playing it? Right? Because nobody wants to play your shitty game. Right? So it hurts me when someone says, well, you can't say it because you didn't play it. Well, in today's age, you don't have to play it. You can see something and know it sucks without ever touching it. You can make that comment.
I mean, I could use my, I guess it would be 44 years experience, 45 years experience of playing video games. But I don't start a channel and scream from the heavens, I know everything.
Right.
But at the same time, it makes me laugh when they come out screaming about they don't want people talking about their game that have never played it before. People are going to talk. They talk both ways. It goes both ways. I've never played the game and I hype it up. It's the same thing if I don't like the game, I don't want to play it. It's the same.
No, if you like it, you're allowed to hype it, Sarge. But if you don't like it,
shut the fuck up.
You shut the fuck up. You can't talk about it. It's like, what are we talking about? What are we talking about?
It's getting a little nutty. It's getting a little nutty on how they react to gamers and how they react to the industry as a whole. The way that they portray themselves as high and mighty. Right now, on the other side of the fence, I completely understand that you might have spent the last 4 years of your life working, okay, on this project, but then it didn't go well for you. But let's not forget that you working and releasing a finished product isn't what got you paid. Every 2 weeks, you got a check. You got money for making the game.
Right.
Right? You got paid while you were making the game. This is not like an all or nothing thing where if you don't sell the game, you don't get paid.
Right. It's not a Cuphead
You were
situation where they're
working.
putting their house up for mortgage and
Right.
stuff like that.
You were
Right.
working the whole time. Now, at the end, when you release the product and you realize you're not going to get back the money that you got the loans for, well, then I guess you have to reevaluate what it is that you did. It's not what we wanted to play. It's what you made.
Right.
Right. The
Make a game, sell a game.
responsibility. Right. The responsibility is, for some reason, after the last 3 years, the responsibility is all on the chuds. The chuds and everybody else's fault, but it's not the guy who made the game. It's not the team that they put together. It's not let's count them, 15 middle managers that are between the dev, that are between the dev and the director. 15 guys. 15 middle managers are needed in order for a game company to work.
Right? That was for Ubisoft. Yeah.
Yeah. 15 middle managers you need to make a game. I don't know how you guys even function. If you don't have 15 middle managers inside your game, I don't know how it works. I don't know how you get things done. Right. This is the kind of shit we have to listen to all the time. It's complete nonsense. Right. The best thing about this, the openness of Flopathon, the openness of the Steam numbers is the numbers aren't going to lie. You're going to be able to base metrics off those numbers, and we're going to clean house, right? We're going to clean house. We're going to get rid of all the, and by the way, I'm not talking about devs because it's not the devs' fault. The devs are told what to do, right?
They're worker bees. They're worker
right. Exactly. We're going to clean house. We're going to find each and every one of these middle management corpo suck-ups, and we're going to get them the fuck out of the industry completely, because every time their name is mentioned, they're going to see that they lost $100 million, or they lost $180 million, or they lost $250 million.
Right.
And those guys don't get to work anymore. Those are the ones you don't want working. What you want is a dev talking to the director like this. What are we making this year? I don't know. What do you feel like making? I don't know. I thought we were going to make a skateboard game again. I thought that was cool. We could make a huge ramps this time. Like, yes, let's do that. Like, that's who you want talking, right? That's how you want it done. You want close-knit teams, small teams, 100 less. That's it. Do your jobs. Everybody else can go. All the corpo suits can take a fucking walk. Go somewhere else and get your money. Right? Because we're not going to do it anymore. The narrative is broken. Right? Flopathon is a direct slap in the face to corpo. That's what that is.
I don't see a problem with Flopathon or Steam. Right?
No, but you damn well know they're going to fight it.
But what I'm saying is I don't see a problem, because if I'm a consumer or customer, right, and I'm like, is this game good? Right? So the barometer is I go to Metacritic or I go to Steam charts, right? If I'm a PC player, I'm like, hey, is this game, are people playing it? You go there, especially if it's a multiplayer game. You want to know if people are playing it. And you're like, ooh, that number seems pretty low for multiplayer type of stuff, right? Single player game doesn't really matter because it's single player. You're not playing with anybody else. But multiplayer is very, very important to know if the player base is good or not, right? Otherwise, they can't make the money. Real quick, Jay DeKent says, in Major League Baseball history, some of the best pitching coaches were catchers because they watched pitchers pitch and made great coaches. They never pitched, right? How can he be a coach if he's never, you know what I mean? But he played the game, but he knows better pitches. He knows how to do this stuff because he's seen thousands of pitches come in. And right? Kingard says, gamers are investors. When they see their investment may not pay off because others aren't joining them in the investment, they get upset about the potentially low ROI, return on investment, on their time and money. Right. That we want to make sure that, look, you go to work every single day, 8 hours a day, 10 hours a day, 12 hours a day, you make your money, right? And you're like, okay, I got to spend my money now. And you're like, what am I going to spend it on? Because when I spend my money, I have the older you get, the less time you have or whatever, right? So you want to make sure that the time that you have is being spent and it's being respected. Hence why I always say respect the player's time. So when you have your money and you pay to get the game, you want to make sure that you're getting a game that, if it's multiplayer, your buddies are all going to have fun, right? Because you don't want to invest, even though it's still the best, even though video games is still the best piece of entertainment out there, dollar for dollar, pound for pound. Okay, because you pay $50 to take your kids to the movies, right? You're done in 2 hours and you're done. Pay $50 for a video game, you're paying hundreds of hours. Still, not. There's no comparison. It's super worth the money, regardless. But now, when you bring it down to just video games itself, you're like, is this game worth my time? Is it worth $50? Is it worth $40? Is this respecting my time? And if people see the numbers low, they're like, yeah, I'm not going to play it. I'm not going to play it.
It's just bizarro world now, man. It really is. And you know how do you know how you realize the narrative is broken? Is the way they react. Is the constant lashing out at us now because their narrative doesn't work anymore.
Well,
by the way, it's their fault, right?
Well,
from years of lying and giving us not finished games, right? Day one patches, everything else over years of this, and we're like, I'm not interested anymore. I don't care.
There's a lot of people that are streamers that are protecting this game because they're not protecting the game. They're protecting their livelihood.
I'm aware.
Right? They're protecting that they need this game to good because this was the next chain of events of their next 7 months, 8 months, 10 months, whatever it is, year and a half, right? Yep. You got to remember, a lot of people that were Destiny streamers, you could name 100 streamers that were Destiny streamers that you can't remember now because out of sight, out of mind. That's just the way it works. Okay. And a lot of those people that are now variety streamers, they can never find that player base because they had a player base when they were playing Destiny, but then they were variety streamers and they never found that. So like, Bungie's coming out with a new game. This is it. I'm going to go all into it. And look, that's the choice they have to make.
That's a business choice.
That's exactly right. That's a business choice. And so that's why they're getting more upset and defending this game, I think, more than anything, because look, Bungie does make good games, but this one's just not as popular as their last one, right? Or the last two, because Destiny 1 and Destiny 2, right?
Yeah, but good news. When this one doesn't work out, they're going to do Destiny. That's good news for all of them.
Destiny 3 will come out, yeah.
That's good news for everybody, right? You wanted Destiny 3 anyway, right? So this is basically just a speed bump to get to Destiny, right? Because
it's a small little
they need to make money, right? Sony needs them to make money, right? How do you make money if we can't make money on Marathon the way we want to make money? Well, I guess we have to go back into the well then, right?
Well, speaking of money, Sony always does the right thing here. Right.
Yes, they do.
Say what you want about Sony.
Well.
No, Sony gave a refund. They stopped the Cyberpunk when it was broke. They gave money back for Concord. They're giving money refunds. I personally think if you're a person that played High Guard, you should get $0 back because you were an idiot that paid for microtransactions in this game when we all knew that it wasn't going to last. But you paid for it.
Not everybody. Not
right?
everybody.
So High Guard refunds being issued to PlayStation gamers who spent cash on the free shooter. So this is good news. High Guard is already passing from recent memory after being shut down. We thought we were done talking about it, I'll be honest. We retired it, vogoted it last week. Okay. Wildlight Entertainment just a few days ago, the game was also a beating heart to one of the most confusing Destiny moments of the recent history, being taken offline just a mere 3 months after it was revealed. Well, stop. You're giving it more time. 45 days. Let's not give it extra time. It was only out for 45 days, not 3 months.
They round up kind of bigly.
That's a lot. It's an extra 45 days, right? Now that the game has died a death, and some gamers have also been spotted on social media revealing that the purchase they made in a free-to-play shooter, specifically on PlayStation 5, are now being refunded. Oh, so people are coming out and admitting that they actually spent money on this game? You honestly shouldn't get your money back. You honestly shouldn't get your money back.
Well, let's be honest now. Sony's doing the right thing because if they don't give the money back, somebody will sue them.
Yeah, but who are you going to sue?
But
that's Sony's responsibility that they get your money back. Sony's good here by giving their money back.
I'm just letting you know, if Sony did not do refunds, what I'm saying, if they did not do refunds, somebody would have sued. That would have happened.
Sure,
and it would have looked worse. It would have looked worse. Because then how do you fight? Well, if that came out in the press somewhere, free game that people bought, it would go both ways, right? Free game people bought items in is canceled, demands refunds. Sony says no. The headline would be ridiculous. Right? What do you mean what do you mean it was a free game and you paid money and then they canceled and you want a refund? What? Like no one understands.
Sony always does this though. Sony does this a lot. They give refunds and kudos to them.
They have to do the right thing.
Right. So it says, I honestly didn't care for a refund. I enjoyed the game and I enjoyed supporting it. But if you weren't looking for a refund, they're sending them out. So here you go. It says in the comments under the post, users on other platforms said the refunds weren't being replicated across the likes of Steam or Xbox. The general assumption is that Microsoft and Valve will follow suit and walk in Sony's footsteps regarding the refunds, but that's based on conjecture and hope. It says High Guard was billed as a next-generation shooter, but the confusing base confusing base concept of the game paired with a bizarre marketing beat failed. There was no marketing beat. Revealed that the Game Awards meant that it was almost destined for failure. So there you go. So good for Sony giving refunds for High Guard, and maybe I think this will be the last time we talk about High Guard. Right? High Guard. So High Guard is no longer with us again. Now, going from that, we might as well get some of the bad news out of the way, Sarge. We have a layoff happening. We have Ubisoft announces layoffs and cease of game development at Red Storm Entertainment. The studio will remain open, but 105 people are being laid off as part of Ubisoft's cost reduction program. Okay, a source at Ubisoft
cost reduction program. Like when you have less people, it costs less to run the business, right? That's cost reduction. Yeah.
A source at Ubisoft has informed GameIndustry.biz that the game development as a long-running North Carolina studio, Red Storm Entertainment, will cease with the loss of 105 jobs. The studio will remain open, but the work is remaining employees will also instead be focusing on Snowdrop Engine along with the customer relations. Red Storm Entertainment was founded in 1996, has been closely associated with titles from Tom Clancy's franchise for most of its existence, including Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon series. It was also behind the 2023's MetaQuest 2 game, Assassin's Creed Nexus VR. Recently, Red Storm had been working on some untitled Splinter Cell VR game, which is also canceled in 2022. And then Tom Clancy's Division Heartland, which is also canceled in 2024. So every time these guys are like, hey, yo, we'll take the job, they're like, no, we're going to cancel that. What are you working on next? Heartland? We're going to cancel that. They're like, you know what? We're just going to fire you guys. We don't want to keep just throwing money at these and canceling these projects. We're just going to cancel you instead. So they just 105 guys.
In his infinite wisdom, remember he made the 5 boxes. We have 5 boxes at the studio now. They're all going to work on their own thing. So this is one box that just went like this, right? This is one box went away. Bye-bye. Yeah, one box over here. So now we're down to 4 boxes. Or was it 6 boxes that we're down to 5? How many boxes did he say? How many boxes did he say they were going to have? Was it 6 or 5? I forget, guys.
I think there was 5 boxes.
Gimon said something about 5 or 6 boxes. I can't remember which it was, but now we have one less box.
No, one less box. So Ubisoft still being Ubisoft. Right. So we have that. And then we have more layoffs, Sarge. Tomb Raider Studio faces 4th round of layoffs in just 12 months. Okay, this is a game that's coming out.
What's the process there? Like how good a person can you feel about you're in the studio, right? You're working, and then every 5 months or so they come in and fire some more people. And it's
almost like The Bachelor or like Survivor.
Yeah.
Right? They come in, they're like,
4th round.
Answer this question, and we'll give you a rose, and you get to stay for the next round. You're like, dude, all right, what's the question?
Listen, I understand whatever the number of people it is, it doesn't matter. What I'm saying is 4th round. Like, isn't there something that these guys can do? Don't you guys have any ideas for a game to make that you want to sell? Or is this just everyone's just sitting around like, well, we can't make a live service game because they all got tired of that? Do you guys have any ideas at all? Like all the genres, all the things in the universe you guys could be making? Just make a game, any game, something fun that people want to play. And you're just sitting in the room like, can we make another live service game? Nope. How about this? How about we make a live service game? No, we can't do that because we already tried that. All right. I'll come back next week. What's your idea? How about we make another live service game? That would have worked. Nope. That one's going to work. Like, what are you guys doing, man? What is happening?
Crystal Dynamics has just been cutting people off ever since Marvel's Avengers. They just right. Let me ask you this, Sarge. Is this it for Tomb Raider? Tomb Raider, even though it's a rehash or they're remaking a Tomb Raider and it's coming out, like if this game becomes successful or it fails,
it's
done, right?
Nope. I already have it in my head. Ready? Here it comes. You're going to be mad at me. You're going to be mad at me. Ready?
I'm going to be mad at you. Okay.
Yep. You're going to be mad at me because I'm going against my grain with this one, right? Tomb Raider is going to be saved real easy, right? Because someone's going to finally decide that we need to go the complete opposite direction. They're going to fire all the wokies out of the studio that makes Tomb Raider, all of them. Anybody that even leans towards wokey, they get rid of them, right? And instead, they have the best artists they can redraw Lara Croft, and they DLSS 5 and they make her the hottest thing possible. Yeah. They make her the hottest thing possible, and they put her in a game, an action game, with a little bit of puzzles, and a lot of puzzles.
That's a good segue,
right? Yeah. That's how you save Tomb Raider.
That's a good.
That's how you save Tomb Raider.
Let's go to the. Where is it? Do I have that?
Pixel Pixel, if they had a DLSS 5 Tomb Raider game with Lara Croft, you're gonna wish list and pre-order and day one. You're gonna do everything.
Well, let's look at the DLSS 5 stuff, right? It says this comes from PC Gamer. Okay, it says if that was shown as the next gen hardware reveal and not AI, you guys would be going nuts. Epic Games lead producer says the idea of DLSS 5 looks bad or detracts from art direction is absolutely insane. So what this gentleman's saying, okay, he's saying that if this was, they didn't show DLSS 5 right now, and the next gen consoles came out and they're like, ta-da, here's PlayStation 6 and the Xbox Helix, and this is the graphics that are coming out, everyone would be like, oh my God, this is amazing. That might be true, but that's not what's fucking happening here. What's happening here is a Snapchat filter or Instagram filter over the stuff that's happening, right? So he's saying to us, again, this is someone I think that's not attached to the rest of the world, right? So when you look at this, okay, let me click on this, and let's go to do they have. Actually, this is a bad one to look at. Let me go to the other one.
It looks so creepy.
Let me go to this one because they have the video here. All right. So you can look at this and you see it and you're like, there's just something off about it, right? So I was watching a gentleman and he was talking about it. So let's just do a split screen here, okay? So what's happening here is a fundamental change.
Reminds me of the Incredible Hulk, the old show.
Yeah.
Bruce Banner and the Incredible Hulk. Ah.
The fundamental problem with this is it's just taking the still image, and there is movement happening, okay? But it's fundamentally changing the art style of the actual thing. So I was watching another person's video. I forget the gentleman's name. And he was saying, he was asking questions to the people that make DLSS 5. And they said, we don't change the artistic style. Okay. We leave it at the base level. We don't touch that. But obviously looking at this and looking at her face, where you can see her face is subdued. Like, now this is the beginning of the game. And at the beginning of the game, she's going to where her mother got murdered. Okay. Now I'm just giving you a context of like why she looks the way she looks in this. She's not dolled up in some makeup, right? She's going to the place where her mother got murdered and other people. And this is like a memory, you know, where she's got to go. So you wouldn't doll yourself up to go, right? So there's some context of like where she's going to. But then you look at DLSS 5 and it looks like she's ready to go on a date, right? You look at the makeup and it's fundamentally changing the artistic style of what this is. Now, what they're saying is it's not doing that. But it is on a fundamental level. It's changing what the actual artistic style is. Now, real quick before you say something, the devs have come out and said, we didn't know they were doing this. They didn't ask us, right? But they asked the company, and the company was like, yeah, we'll do this. So the devs are like, hold up a second, right? Hold up a second. They're like, this is changing artistic style of the stuff. And they're like, well, they get to choose. They get to choose on how much of this. And this reminds me of HDR. On your phones and stuff. Everyone was using HDR. You take a picture and then you hit HDR and it brings the darks to light and the lights to dark, and it makes this like glow around you, and it just makes it better on your pictures, right? And everyone's like, oh, it looks so good. Look at me. I'm a professional photographer now. You're like, no, you just hit the HDR button, where people that actually photographers can actually do that in camera because of the focal length and the camera lens and how much light's coming in. So they've done this to this, and they're like, yeah, no, it's not changing the fundamental thing. Like, look at it. Don't get me wrong. Visually, she looks glorified, right? But it's garbage. It's garbage because it's not actually what it looks like. It wasn't designed this way.
This is what's going to end up happening. I'll give it a month, maybe even less. Somebody is going to do a parody of the DLSS 5. This right here. They're going to draw like some crazy cartoon character that's a stick figure, and they're going to DLSS
They
5
do
it,
that memes all the time. Yeah.
right, and they're going to turn it into this like muscle-bound volleyball player, or someone's going to draw some fat girl from school and DLSS 5er, and she's going to turn into like some kind of supermodel. Like, yeah, it doesn't change the art style at all. So what we're going to do is we're going to let any artist that we can find for $20 an hour. We're going to draw whatever they want.
Minimal viable product.
I'll get an MVP come in. He's an artist. He comes out of school. I can pay him $20 an hour. We'll have him draw what we want him to draw, and then we're going to just swipe it over, and we'll turn it into whatever we need to. And it's not changing anything at all. It just makes it better, right? That's how it's going to work.
I mean, look, this is HDR for video games now, right? You look at this, and it just takes her face, and it shows all the wrinkles. Right, like the wrinkles are there. You can see it there, right? Like there's the wrinkle there, there's the wrinkle there, and then it just makes it.
But they're HD wrinkles now,
right? But now it's darker, right?
But,
now it's
but the programming doesn't understand context of the photo, who the person is. The one that from Hogwarts Legacy. Yeah, that kid's supposed to be a teenager, right? If you look at that one, the guy's supposed to be a teenager.
It's the next one. It's the next one over.
And then he looks like he's 45 years old, like.
Well, like, I disagree that he looks 45. I mean,
he's 40-year-old guy, right?
Stuff, yeah, it makes him look older because of the lighting and stuff like that. But they say it's just changing the lighting, but it's not. It's fundamentally changing the artistic style.
He doesn't look like a teenager. I can tell you that.
No, he definitely does. He definitely looks older. Yeah. Right, and you see this really change.
He's a teenager if he failed 14 times before he left school. He got left back at Hogwarts like 15 times. Hope he could pass level 10 school. Okay.
What I love this. Look, they tell you it doesn't change it fundamentally.
Look at it.
Look at this.
Look at it. It looks creepy, bro.
Well, you know what the funny part is of this whole thing? I think it's hilarious, right? Because people hated what Starfield, like the characters, they look horrendous. Awful, right? They look horrendous. But now people are upset because they're
this makes it look worse.
Right, and they're like,
it enhances the worstness.
Put it back, and I'm like, I just laugh because I'm like, people were upset because it looked bad, but now they're upset because it made it look better, but also worse at the same time.
I mean, she's wearing Marty McFly's jacket from Back to the Future, but what's with the giant meat hook on the front of her jacket? Like, what is that? Is she about to jump out of a plane? What is happening?
Right,
and why only one hook? Why would you want all the weight on one side? What's going on there?
So if you notice this, right? I didn't pick this up. Someone else said this, and I'm saying what they said. From a fundamental standpoint, you look at this gentleman's hair, right? And the way the graphics are is that he's got a crew cut, and then it's like a fade, but it ends abruptly, like right there, and then it doesn't fade anymore, right?
It's well defined. It's well
defined. Yeah, but there's no hair here down here. There's zero hair. It's up here, okay? But then when he cut it to him, he now has hair there, right? It's now filling in. So the AI has said, oh, this is what the thing's being fed, and this is what we're putting in. Now, I've messed with AI a lot, okay? And a lot of the videos and stuff that I do, it takes what it does, and then it adds stuff or subtracts stuff because it can't read certain things. That is what this is fundamentally doing, right? You look at their faces, and yes, don't get me wrong. If Starfield came out like this originally, people would be like, oh my God, this is amazing. The graphics, the next technology, whatever Bethesda is doing. But that's not what they did. This is what they gave you. They gave you a big smudgy blur with bad animations and stuff like that. Even though I love Starfield, right? I have 243 hours in the game. I enjoyed it. But this is fundamentally changing the artistic style of the developers that are making the game. So DLSS is this, like you said, Sarge, it's like do the minimal viable product. Just do the bare minimum. Don't worry. DLSS will fix everything.
We'll cover up what we need.
It's almost like in the film industry. We'll do it in post. Like, I hated this. When we did a shot, you want to do a shot in camera shot because that's the best that you can do it. If you can capture it on camera, that's the best it could be. Okay. But what people would do, inexperienced movie directors, producers, they would be like, we'll do it in post. We'll do it in post. And then they get to post and they're like, we don't have enough coverage. We don't have enough stuff. So guess what happens? They CGI it.
Yeah, but
and they make up the shit.
But it's but it's truly bad. Like go over to the woman, right? She goes from an Asian whooping and turns him into Henry Golding, like right? Like it's a woman there, and then it turns into Henry Golding. I don't understand why. Why would you want that? Why would you want it completely changed? It looks like a dude now.
Just enough for the $2 super chat says, now show me DLSS's pitfall. Right. Like
I can't wait. I can't wait.
And you're going to enhance it.
Listen to me. People are going to do memes where they're going to do the slide, and it's going to be two different completely things on purpose, and they're going to just laugh. Right? People are going to jump on this bandwagon, and they're going to meme this thing into the ground. I can't wait. I'm excited. I'm more excited for the slide to happen now than more than ever before. I can't wait.
Well,
it'll be like everyone's on Ozempic. So swipe.
Jensen, the CEO of the company, comes out and says they're completely wrong. NVIDIA CEO responds to widespread criticism of DLSS 5. On Monday, the technology giant launched a latest iteration of the machine learning tech. The time, instead of improving game resolution of frame rate, DLSS 5 uses AI model to alter the visual support games running on NVIDIA graphics card, adding what it calls photoreal lighting and materials. However, the announcement was met with widespread criticism from players and games industry professionals, partly because DLSS 5 seamlessly drastically alters the original art direction and supporter games. At the press of Q&A, Tom Hardware at GTC 2026, NVIDIA CEO Jensen said how the downplayed criticism of DLSS 5 and claimed that developers will have a full control over the implementations in their games. Now, he's talking about, they'll get to choose what they want to do, but they only get to choose, like if I did this on my morning stream, like if I want to change my gain and make me brighter or the color temperature, change the color temperature, that's what they have. Like what they can do. What he's saying here is they have full control of, they can make it as high contrast or low contrast as possible. And it's like, yeah, but you're fundamentally making the AI do the stuff. So it's fundamentally changing the artistic style of all the characters on the actual screen, right? So, and as Kingard said earlier in the chat, he says it's funny how they never showed it in like motion. They only showed it in like
it doesn't hold motion well.
Stagnant areas and stuff like that, because it's still early testing, right? So it says, well, first of all, they're completely wrong, the CEO said. The reason for that is because we have explained very carefully that DLSS 5 fuses controllability of other geometry and textures and everything about the game with generative AI. He added that the developers can fine-tune the generative AI to make it match their game visual style, claiming that the DLSS 5 adds generative capability and existing game geometry, but that it doesn't change the artistic control. We just showed you that it fundamentally changes what the artistic control is for the actual character, okay? He says it's not post-processing. It's not post-processing at the frame level. It's generative control at the geometry level, he said. All that is direct control of the game developers, he said, and the very different of the generative AI and the content control generative AI. And this is why it's called neutral rendering. DLSS 5...
Neural rendering.
Neural rendering, sorry. DLSS 5 will arrive this fall, and the announcement video and the tech is shown drastically altering the appearance of characters and the environment in games such as Resident Evil Requiem, Starfield, and Assassin's Creed Shadows. Okay, here's the issue. Obviously, this is NVIDIA.
So this is how they're going to do the remaster of Fallout 3.
Right, or Oblivion or whatever, right? The problem with this is, if this is DLSS 5 and this is NVIDIA, well, the next Xboxes and PlayStations are all with AMD, right, inside the stuff. So AMD is going to be coming out with their own AI generative whatever thing that they're doing here. This is going to make it even harder now, because now let's just take Starfield for instance, or let's say Starfield 2 comes out or whatever. It's on Xbox, which is on running AMD. It's running on PC, which now has GeForce. So now the developers have to make two different versions, because one's going to look like this and the other one's not going to look like this because it doesn't have the GeForce 250-90s running, so it can operate like this. Like, NVIDIA is trying to run the show, right? Not only are they, this is hedging their bet is basically what's happening, because if they can't get the data centers running up and running, they want everyone to force to be using this, and now they control, like, hey, sort of like Epic, like if you use our engine, we'll get a percentage of it. I'm assuming that if you do this and they're getting a percentage of sales or something. Obviously, they're not doing it for free. They have to be contracts and stuff like that to be used with.
Well, especially if it's not inside the hardware and it's something else that could be downloaded or as an add-on to the game.
Right. And this is DLSS 5. This is not an add-on to it. This is what DLSS 5 is, meaning if DLSS 6 comes out and DLSS 7 comes out, this is the groundwork. This is the ground floor of what this thing does. And it's just going to get more of this as it goes, right? So now when you look at graphics, it's not even graphics anymore. It's going to be AI rendering of all the stuff. And again, you won't know. The average person won't know. They'll just look at it and go, oh my God.
That's right. The average people won't
look
know.
at the graphics. The graphics
look how
are
awesome
amazing,
it looks. Yes,
right?
Yes.
But you're going to look at it and go, something's off about this. Like, I don't like realistic looking games because it takes me out. Because I play video games to get close to be like Star Wars Battlefront 2. We look at that and go, holy shit, this is like photorealistic. But it's also a video game. We know it's a video game. I don't want to be in the movie of Star Wars, like the actual movie, and be like, oh, this is so good. Because where does it go from there? Where you're at the ceiling. It's like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory when Charlie and his grandpa are up at the ceiling and they're about to get in the fan. Burp, Charlie, burp, because they have to get away from the fan because they're at the ceiling, right? They're at the fucking ceiling. And the gaming industry is at the ceiling right now. They need a burp-a-cola to get away from the ceiling to stop putting everything to look photorealism. They have to put it back to the game.
Well, the chat can be involved in this part of the discussion, especially because the whole issue that we're doing now is you don't have a selling point for your hardware. How are you selling any piece of hardware? What is it? What is the primary reason for you to buy a new piece of hardware? If it doesn't look better, then what else can it do? Right? You have to focus on something that's the hook on why we're getting it. So if it's not photorealism, then what? You'd have to actually sell me on performance. Like I would take performance over anything else. Like let them do performance first and then graphics later once they get to optimize the hardware and then do that.
Right. I would rather the game run at 60 frames per second than look like this trash.
But if you're a business person, think of it this way. If you're a business person, even though I made fun of it before, that's probably the reason. The reason is if they can use this to enhance the graphical capability of somebody's drawings, then they can hire less expensive artists and then just use the wipe in order to get it to look better, right? That's business. Instead of paying $110,000 for artists, you only have to pay $85 or $75. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like it's a big deal, especially since we know that they can't budget because we've watched them try to sell games for the last 5 years. None of them can budget. So instead of learning how to budget properly, the best thing to do is come up with a program that lets me hire people cheaper because we don't have to hire top-end artists because we can just do this and make up the difference. It'll be fine. Yeah.
All right.
But that's what it is, Windsor, right? Everything's about graphics. And they keep telling you this. Every week they tell you, look how awesome it looks. Look what we can do. Oh, look how awesome this looks. Like, that's great. What kind of game are you making?
Yeah, Windsor says, I hate so much that everything is about graphics. This is that everyone is obsessed that the game over gameplay. This is what is important to me. It's people use that logic when I guess Minecraft is crap. Right. Like, don't get me wrong. There's people that make mods for Minecraft that make the ray tracing and the lighting and it makes it look photorealism and stuff like that. But that's not what the game is. That's something you can add on to the game. This is something they can add on to the game, but it's not you, the user, that can turn it on and off. It's the company now using this to replace, I know, we all know this is there to replace the artists and everything in the pipeline. So less money from there because they don't want to lower the budget for $250 million. They want to lower the budget by firing people and still have high priced games and also still sell you at $70, $80, $90, $100 video games, right? Right. Corporate salute. It's got to go up. Right. Speaking of AI. Okay. This next story is kind of creepy, but at the same time, I totally understand.
Well, we knew this was coming.
100%. Okay.
We knew this was coming.
Now, when you sent me this and you talked to me, and then I think Krebsy also submitted this, right? Val Kilmer is coming back as an AI star of this film, right? It says Deep as a Grave movie, right? Now he was supposed to work on this. So leading up to this, okay, so he's in the movie, but this right here is not Val Kilmer. This is a AI Val Kilmer right here. This picture, this still is a AI of Val Kilmer, okay, which is crazy. Okay. Now, 5 years prior to his death in 2025, Val Kilmer was cast as Father Fenton, okay, the Catholic priest at the Native American spiritualist, right, as deep in the deep grave, okay. But Kilmer, who was battling throat cancer at the time, was too sick to ever make it to set, right? So he couldn't do the role. So what they've done here, okay, Voorhees has asked his daughter and son if they could use and make his likeness and stuff and his voice and use it into the movie. Now, I'm not here to tell you that I disagree with this or not. What I'm here to have a conversation, because his family said it was okay to use this. And we've seen this in the past with General Tarkin in Star Wars, Carrie Fisher in Star Wars, or Princess Leia, right? They used her in, I believe it was Rogue One, right? It was
Last Jedi.
It was Rogue One, yeah. No, Rogue One is when they used it when she was
She wasn't even there. Yeah, she wasn't even there.
She was all AI, right? They've done this with de-aging with other characters. Patrick Stewart, de-aging him. He's old, and they made him younger and stuff like that. My conversation that I want to have, Sarge, is this the precipice now? Because Tarkin was a side character, a small little clip in a movie. Carrie Fisher was a small little segment of that film. This is a full-fledged main character inside this film that is not there, right? Terry, what was that? The fake character that we taught, Tilly Norwood, the fake character, the AI that people were promoting and stuff like that. That's based, even though Val Kilmer was a real person.
But that wasn't a real movie. That was just her being on stream.
No, I understand that. What I'm saying, that was a fake person. This is actual real person that they're redoing as the main character now, right?
Yeah.
So where does this where does this go? Now, just a couple weeks ago, we were talking about Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise, and they were suing.
You watched the fight scene, right? You watched the fight scene
of them. Where does this go where Tom Cruise is still alive, but Tom Cruise doesn't want to show up on that set anymore? Now he could be in multiple films.
Yes.
Right. Without ever leaving his home.
Right. He could do 4 films a year.
Right. He could be Zendaya, do 6 films a year and not actually show up on set. Right.
Yeah.
Is this good? Is this bad? Does this cross a line? Like what is happening here? Because yes, Val Kilmer is doing this and he's passed. They said it was okay. But if this works out,
this sets a precedent for sure.
This sets a precedent, and everyone's going to start doing this, and they don't really care that you're using the likeness of it because they're still going to get paid, right? I'm sure that his estate's getting paid.
How can you have scheduling conflicts anymore?
You can't.
You don't have scheduling conflicts anymore.
And sort of like what George Lucas did with Carrie Fisher, Harrison Ford, and Mark Hamill. He had their likeness for the toys and stuff like that. They sign contracts now. They have their likeness and stuff for anything.
No. There's going to be first of all, there's going to be a long, long talk about what this actually means. This is just the precedent. I believe that what this is going to set off is you're going to have movie stars then have contracts made up for them actually being there and using their likeness, right? And you're not allowed to use their likeness unless it's their express permission, depending on what the scene is. It'll be exactly the same, except you don't have to waste time being there, right? So imagine this. Imagine you're a female actress or a female actor, however you want to use the words now. You're a female actress, and they want you to do a sex scene, but you're not comfortable with it.
Right.
You're not comfortable with the sex scene or the scene that they wanted to put you in. So now, different contract that says that I am allowing you to use my likeness in order to do the scene. However, these stipulations are in black. You just can't do whatever you want.
Actors that don't like to kiss other people.
Right.
They can do that now.
So now, not only now will you get paid for things that you don't want to do, you'll have stopgaps in the contracts of what you want and what they want to do. Meanwhile, you're still working. This is crazy.
This blurs the line. I don't know if you saw the movie with Ryan Gosling where he's a stunt guy. What Fall Guy? The Fall Guy?
Fall Guy.
Did you watch that movie?
No.
No, it's actually a pretty good movie. It's a cheesy movie, but it's a good movie. He's a stunt guy, okay, and that's his whole job. He's just a stunt guy in the movie.
It's based off the TV show.
Yeah. He falls in love with the director and stuff
Yeah.
like that, and he gets in an accident. But what happens to the Fall Guy, right? Like right now, there's movies that do CGI for special effects and stuff like that, but there's still stunt coordinators. There's still people that are doing the actual stunts, and then they do CGI when they're take the cables out and do all the other stuff. You know what I mean? You don't need any of that anymore, right? You could literally just do the action sequence inside. Like, where do they draw that line?
We're not saying day one, but eventually you won't need those guys anymore. Yes.
Yeah, all this goes bye-bye, right? Like Kinger says, stunt doubles go bye-bye, right? Well, even more than that, right? Because now this is Val Kilmer. He doesn't need a makeup artist. He's not there, right? This is a fake character on a screen. So do you need a cinematographer?
No makeup
for lighting? Maybe you bring the guy in to still talk about where the lighting and stuff is going.
No assistants, no makeup, no hair. Right. Sounds like you're saving a lot of money on this movie, doesn't it?
Saving a shit ton of money, right? So again, I'm losing my words here because I was in the industry for 20 years. Okay. I was in the industry for 20 years. I know what it takes to make a movie, how many people are on set, what goes into making something, how long it takes to do a shot. Okay. And this blows my mind because someone that could just go and 30 seconds later, there's Val Kilmer, and there's more that goes into it. Don't get me wrong. It's not just type it in and right. You still got to sync up the stuff. You still got to make sure it's from scene to scene. It looks exactly the same.
Oh, you're going to have more editors.
Sure.
You might have to hire some more editors.
I just think this crosses a line. Is it right or wrong that,
well, what's your,
James Earl Jones just died and they still use his voice for Darth Vader? Like
a kid that's growing up, when he finally gets to the age where he's actually thinking independent and watching movies and what he wants to watch, he would have grown up looking at this his entire life. So when he watches a movie like this, it's going to be second nature.
Yeah,
they're not going to care. For me, as the resident old guy, if I'm going to watch a movie and I realize that everybody in this movie is AI, then I don't have any attachment. Like for me, like if there's an action scene, I don't feel any anxiety or any fear about anything because I know the person isn't real.
This
when I watch action films,
when
I watch action films, I'm invested because these are real people doing the stunts. These are real people doing the things. So your feelings are different. I grew up watching real people do real things. Now I'm going to watch AI people do it. I won't have any connection to it at all. But like it'll bother me. But for someone who grows up watching nothing but AI, it'll be normal. It'll just be normal.
It'll be interesting to see the new Spider-Man. Did you watch the new trailer for Spider-Man? Brand new day.
Yep.
Okay. So they made a point in the marketing material leading up to what we saw is that he's doing practical swinging. Like they have a practical machine. He's swinging in the city and stuff like that. That's not CGI type of stuff. Now, obviously there is CGI in it, but there is that authenticity where if you could capture it in camera where I can see Tom Holland swinging from a thing in the city that looks real, and it is real because it's there. But then there's that inside the trailer when you see him sitting on top of the beam. Now, obviously, he can't sit upside down, and
he's in the void. He's in the room.
He's in that room, right? The volume, right?
The volume
where you can see them the way it looks, and it becomes this uncanny valley type of stuff because we as humans look at it and can tell if it's human or not human. Something's off about it.
Right now, you can.
No, but just in general, we have a system built in. When you look at someone looks weird, you're like, oh, that doesn't look right, right? Like something feels off. That's what's happening in movies nowadays. But look at Val Kilmer, man. Can you tell? Like if I didn't tell you Val Kilmer was AI and this is the last movie he did before he died, you would have been like, oh my God, he looks pretty good. He looks good, right? You're like, how did he do it? And then you find out that he's not there, and you're like, holy shit, what is real? What is now? Again, movies are supposed to pull you away from reality, and it could be sci-fi, fantasy, and stuff like that.
Well, but first and foremost, a humanistic story. That's what it's supposed to be about. So it's usually about the people. But that's my problem. See, if you have a good writer and that writes the story, and it's a story about people, and the whole time you're watching it, it's not about anybody.
Yeah.
It's about all
Right.
AI. There's no people here.
Yeah,
But
I have a
you're telling a story about human beings, and you want us to feel something, but I know they don't exist at all. Like they're not there,
I
right?
wrote
So
a
how does that
song.
make you feel? How does that make you feel if you're connected to the actual film or not?
Yeah, I wrote a song called AI Slop, which I find funny because I wrote it, but it's an AI singing it. And the lyrics is me writing about AI slop, put it in a bowl, like we're just going to eat it up but it's an AI singing the song. Like if an actual person was singing the song, it would hit differently because an actual person was singing the song. But I wrote the song and it's AI singing the song, making fun of
Itself.
AI of itself. Right. And I find it humorous because that's exactly what it is. There is no connection to it. If you listen to the song, you're not going to feel it because you're like, it is AI singing the song. But if Snoop Dogg sang the song, you're like, hell yeah, I agree with that because we want real people, singing the stuff.
Right.
You're not going to be able to tell. There's going to be a point.
But we won't be able, we'll be able to tell because we grew up during this time. But like I said, the kids that are growing up, it won't matter to them. It'll be normal.
There's stuff. And Krebsy kind of brought up a point here. He says, look at the T-Rex from Jurassic Park to the T-Rex in the current Jurassic Park film. When you look at Steven Spielberg's original Jurassic Park, you were blown the fuck away. You're like, that T-Rex is real. That looks real. Okay, obviously we know it's fake. But then you look at the Jurassic Park now and like everything's fake. Like it's fake and everything around it looks fake and it sticks out like a sore thumb. I think Hollywood is cooked more faster than they ever think because again, when this movie comes out and they see how well he looks on film, Hollywood's going to be like, amen. We just saved a fortune because now we can do everything because it's this, and obviously it's going to get better.
Chopper has a good point.
Chopper says, can something like this AI Val be as good and deliver the same performance as Valve could when he was also still here? Meaning all nuance would be
good question.
He would bring. Well,
can they convey the emotion with it?
Here's the what I can tell you, right? Did you play Indiana Jones, the video game, Eric? Did you play where, what's the actor's name, the voice actor's name? I can't think of his name right now.
I'm blanking.
Chat, Krebsy, throw me a bone. I forget the guy's name. Very famous actor and voice actor, and I can't think of his name now. My point is, he was such a good replication. Troy Baker, thank you very much, Altern. Right? Troy Baker did such a good job, okay, with Harrison Ford that if I told you Harrison Ford did that, you'd be like, oh, yeah, it's a good job. But he didn't. Troy Baker did it. So if you can find someone that can, in motion capture, you're still using someone, but you're not using Val Kilmer. You're using someone else that studies his movements, okay, and walks like him and sways like him and does that stuff like him, then you wouldn't know because the art of the movie is trying to sell you that that's Val Kilmer playing this character, right? So if they can find someone and get the voice and give that performance, even though it's not him, it wouldn't matter. Like, I know we go talk about all this stuff. It doesn't really matter. As long as you, the viewer, are entertained by what's happening on the screen, then they've done their job as a movie, as a person making a film. If I can sit you down and you get engulfed inside this movie, whatever it is, if it's fantasy, reality, drama, horror, for that hour and a half to 2 hours, and you're in that movie, then I've done my job as the artist to give you that film. So I think they'll be able to make it where you won't be able to tell the difference. I mean, look at the stuff that's happening with Will Smith eating the spaghetti to now with Will Smith fighting spaghetti. Do you know what I mean? Like, it looks exactly like him because it's feeding so much information. And Val Kilmer has been in so many movies. So you could teach the AI based on the movies. And they actually, I think in the article, it says they used footage and baby pictures of him, baby pictures, younger photos of him to teach the actual AI what he looks like. Right. So it's a good question. It's a good question. We don't know the answer but Hollywood's cooked, man. Hollywood's cooked. Gaming is cooked. They're all cooked because these artists are losing their jobs left and right because of this stuff. All right. So let's go from Val Kilmer. Let's talk about Crimson Desert, Sarge. Crimson Desert launched tonight. Okay, 6 p.m. This game is nutty, man. Like,
Well, what I've noticed throughout the day is a lot of the media venues they're trying to make the game very polarizing on both sides. Instead of just waiting for the game to come out, like there's a lot of shit talk already. Like we're gonna see what happens. We're gonna have the weekend. We're gonna see what happens. Like, but the way that they're speaking about it, like, we already know what they did with Black Desert. Like, so we know what's gonna happen. So we have to just give it time. But the way that they speak about the game is strange.
Well, right now, Crimson Desert has got 239,000 people playing concurrent right now. Or I'm sorry, 200,000 people right now. 239,000 people at 2 hours. That's a big drop. I'll be honest with you. In just 2 hours, they probably put the game in. And we're like, damn good, right? The daunting of this game is how big it is, right, and how much time you have to put into it. I think that's like the hand holding and how large it is going to scare a lot of people.
There's no hand holding.
Right, exactly. There is no hand-holding, right? So Metacritic right now is giving this game a 78. Now, just to put that in perspective, Dragon Age Veilguard got a 9.5 or whatever it is, okay? Assassin's Creed got a higher score than what this game is getting right now. A lot of people that are giving this, now again, if you're a person that doesn't give a shit about Metacritic, then don't worry about it. Just buy the game, play the game, move on with your life. But we're talking about this as you know, because it's news and we're a gaming news channel, right? So there's hundreds, there's 90s, there's 85s, there's 80s, 77, 70, a 45. Like Crimson Desert draws attention. The ambitious world adventures proposal, but experience ultimately falls short of expectations. Of whose expectations? Of his expectations? Like his expectations is what, like, you can't really say, like, except one person's thing. We watched 4 different videos today, 4 different videos, each 30 minutes long a piece. And not one video was talking about the same thing. They all talked about different things in depth, right? One was talking about the skill tree. One was talking about the fighting. One was talking about the puzzles. One was talking about, right? They were each talking about completely different things. So you look at a lot of this stuff and you're like, I get rid of all hundreds. Hundreds don't exist to me. 95s don't exist to me. I get anything from 95 and above. I delete all those. Anything that's like 0 to like 20, I get rid of those, because those people, you'll even see when you read certain things. The only reason they're putting it at 100 is because someone put a 0. The only reason they're putting a 0 is because someone put 100, right? So you just kind of go in the middle and you see what the census is. And a lot of people like this game, right? But the problem is, apparently, where is it? Right, Crimson Desert Studio Pearl Abyss sees its shares prices plummet nearly 30% after reviews arrive. Okay, the South Korea company behind Crimson Desert has seen a large drop in its share price following the first reviews of the game. Now, Pearl Abyss, which is both publisher and developer of Crimson Desert, was sitting on the share price of $65,600, which is $43.79 when the market closed on Wednesday. The review embargo for the game has lifted on Wednesday night, and initial critical reception has been moderately positive, but not overwhelmingly. So as a result, as reported, right, when the stock market opened again today on Thursday, the share price for Pearl Abyss immediately dropped to $31.90, a drop of about 27%. At the time of writing, this market has closed the day of South Korea. The final share price is at $30.70, which is a market total one-day drop of 29.8%. Now,
it's funny how they want to talk about stock prices for a video game company.
Video game.
But I don't hear about the rest of them stock prices for anybody else.
Well, the problem is, Sarge, the number's good. 239,000 people, 400,000 people bought the game, supposedly. There's technically over 1 million sales, supposedly, that's happening right now. So obviously they can't talk about that because that's positive. So they have to talk about the stock price, which is negative because it did go down in price, and the 78, which is considered generally favorable on the site grading scale. Right? Look at this. It's like a looks like high guards.
Yeah, I can make any graph look like that depending on the size of the graphs and the percentage of a decrease or increase. I can make anything look like that. We're not worried about that. What I'm concerned about is letting the weekend pass and seeing which group of people actually want to play a game like this. Because there are a lot of gamers out there that think this is a game that they know what it is, they don't know what it is, and they're not going to be in the game for long because it doesn't hold your hand.
Well,
it's not that type of game.
I watched Paul Tassi's video after stream, and I haven't read this article yet, but he was very positive about it. And this is not a game for him, but he liked it so much. He's like, I don't even want to do this. In his video, he says, I want to get done with this video because I want to go back and play the game. And he's got over 100 hours.
Because he wants to experience the sandbox for what it is, and that's what it is.
Yeah,
it is a sandbox to play in. That's what it is. It's not going to have the same kind of story you think the rest of the story games that you've played have, and they've already announced that long before the game was released.
Yeah, long before
the game was released.
Richer experience, if you're looking for a type of deep rich story, it's not going to be that way, right? So Paul Tassi here says, Crimson Desert review. I've never seen anything like this. Okay. He says, I was about 50 hours into Crimson Desert, and I wonder if it was even possible for me to finish the campaign in time for the embargo at 70 hours. I stopped wondering and knew I wouldn't. Now at 100 hours, I don't even care that I have made it, maybe 2/3 down the main quest line, endless diverted from the path. He says, I'm here for 100 more. Like, he's ready to put in just because he's having so much fun.
Right, you're having fun inside the game. That's
when
it.
I watched Luke Stevens' review, you could tell in his voice he was very happy, like talking about the game. When I watched Force Gaming, you could tell in his voice that he was very happy about playing the game. Like, you could tell it's almost that like kid sensation when you found something when you were a kid and you just talk about like, oh man, when I was in this game, I did that. Like my son does it right now when he's playing Minecraft or Fortnite when the new update just came out, or he just downloaded something from Minecraft. He's in here every 5 seconds telling me, oh, I could do this in the game. I could do this in the day. Can you see this? Like that joy is there for a lot of people that are actually playing the game here, right? He says there's no way to begin describing Crimson Desert other than to reference it. Unprecedented scale. Much fuss that is also made about the map being the size of Skyrim and Red Dead Redemption 2 combined. That's true, easily. But the question then becomes why? Anyone can procedurally generate a planet. It takes 5 real-time years to drive around. It's empty but full of garbage. Crimson Desert is neither empty nor full of garbage, right? Like there's so much stuff to do. Even Scale Up in his other reviews. I haven't seen his review of this yet. I don't know if there is one. He talked about like Valhalla, and other Assassin's Creed games, and he was like, the world is just big to be big, and there's nothing to do. It's like boring. No one has said there's nothing to do in this game except one outlet that gave it like a 45 and was like, there's nothing meaningful to do or unique about this. And then in the still picture they show a giant tree ogre. And I'm like, that seems pretty interesting. That you don't think that's interesting? But it says 100 hours into the game, and I've never been bored. There are so many things to do, so many avenues to progression, questing and crafting, puzzles, boss hunting, territory takeovers, and the list just does not end. He says, my itch to play has not been driven by the review. As I said, I knew I would never finish it in time, but because I just wanted to keep exploring Crimson Desert, I know I'm not alone. And speaking to other reviewers, so all the reviewers had a Discord they were in, and everybody that was playing the game could talk to each other to see like puzzles and stuff like that. They were all infatuated with the game. Like they can't stop playing the game. Okay. He says, I know I'm not alone. Speaking to other reviewers, I don't think more than 1 in 5 of the people who got codes will have finished the main storyline by the time reading this. He says, I wouldn't trust the judgment of anyone who has put less than 50 hours into the game. Honestly, that may not even be enough. Right. So if someone says I played 50 hours,
yeah, but the gist is the gist. Every game has the same type of mechanics. It's a fetch quest always, but how do you disguise the fetch quest? It's skill. There's skills to learn about things, but how do you let me skill up the points? Is it interesting, or is it just a grind fest? If this dev team figures out a way that makes it fun to level and fun to play without concerning yourself with the reasons why you're doing it and disguises it, and it's fun, then that's a win. That's the whole point, is to get you to do something that you don't want to do, but make it fun while you're doing it. Right? That's what keeps me in the game longer. I want to see what's around the corner. I want to see what's on top of that mountain. I want to see what's inside that cave. I want to, right? Give me something to go towards, right? And now I said this earlier this morning when you guys were doing the show, but in a game like this, there's no hand holding. That's completely cool. But what I would want is area regions and the items that are there. Like
they have that.
Like 10 chests, 5 creatures, bosses.
Well, I don't know if they have that.
Like a list.
There is a list. There is a list. It tells you like the region, and then in the region it has
what's there?
Like 0 of 10, 0 of 34.
Yeah,
that's in the game. Yeah, that's perfect. In the game.
So that
Yeah.
way, if I wander too far away and I realize I'm 2 zones away from where I want it to be, then I want to go clear out that area. I'll
Right.
explore
Go
the
clear
area
out.
more. I'll
Yeah.
go explore more.
That's
Right?
fair.
That's completely fine. I'm completely fine with no hand holding. Right?
Yeah, I agree.
Not for
But
everybody.
but it's not for everybody,
Not
right.
for everybody. Like that's a big deal because people have grown up being shown the door their entire life. Right? A lot of the games that have come out in the last 10, 15 years are all games that just follow the yellow brick road. Okay? You don't have to learn shit. Right? This has got old
Right.
school mechanics with new school graphics. So you can do whatever you want, but no one's going to help you.
Well, here's the thing. If you're a person that doesn't want your handhold, then you're going to have to wait for other people to finish the game to make the YouTube videos for you so you know where to go, right? Like you'll type in what quest you're on, and you'll be like, helping guy in chimney, and then someone will be like, hey, YouTube video on how to complete the chimney quest, right? Like that's going to be your handholding for you. The people that don't want handholding are going to do the game, and the people that want handholding are going to have to wait for the people to do the game. Now, Eric Jones, real quick, says, honestly, I don't know if I have time for Crimson Desert.
100%.
This right here is what I think
100%.
most people will be it'll be very daunting. They're like, Crimson Desert looks fantastic, but I don't know if I have time to put in because everyone's saying 100 hours minimum, 200 hours minimum. There's someone that's in the game for 200 hours and he has 3 achievements and he has 1/4 of the territories found. 200 hours in the game. He's only in the first section still, right?
Just looking around.
Right.
He's just looking around.
If you hear that as a dad, a mom, and you work 40 hours, and you're like, I love video games. You're like, I want this game. And you're like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to play this game.
I don't have
this
time.
game might take you 12 months to finish.
Yeah.
Right? But you want to play another game. You want to play other things that are happening.
Does that okay? I understand that from the dad standpoint, but don't you think just for a moment though that if you got the game and you don't really have time for it, it's like your own little mini series show for you?
Sure. But
right?
They don't want to spend
if it takes
$70 not to play the game though.
But hear me out, right? You pay $70 for the game and I play it for maybe 2 or 3 hours a week. But that's like my little show.
Right.
I'm on my show, right?
I agree.
I live the show and the show might last an entire year. Wouldn't you think that would be a good price to value?
I personally think this is way good value for what it is, right? And then this breaks the narrative of everything else. When people ask for $70, you look at what this game has for $70, and you look at what another game has for $70.
Yeah. But mark my words, if the game does well over the weekend, they're going to find ways to put it down because once again, they can't have a game like this pop off because it sets another precedent of what people are actually looking for in a game and what you are charging them. Right?
Yeah.
If this game is done by, if this game is able to put together this kind of world under the time frame that they had, and all these things can be inside it, all the fun can be inside it, the sandbox is full, the world is full. Meanwhile, we're getting half-ass empty world games with half-ass tries, and you're charging me $70 for that one, sets a precedent, right? Why would I buy one of these other games when this is what it actually means to spend $70?
So here's what I would like to tell people, right? If you're thinking about getting this game, right? I want to make a recommendation here. Because of the way society is, and you can look up everything, like if you're on the cusp of this game, you're like, I want to get this game, but I don't know if I'm gonna like it or not. Don't get the game right now. Just hold off. Wait for it to be out a couple weeks. Sit on it. Think about it for a little bit. But if you're a person that's playing this game, don't look up anything. Don't go to YouTube to look up a thing, right? Don't give the urge of going, how do I beat this puzzle? Just play the game. Like almost like when I went on vacation and shut off and didn't play games. Treat this game like that. Like this is your vacation. Water right now is on vacation. He took off for the week or whatever. He's sitting in the game and he's playing the game. He's in vacation. He's in Piewell right now on vacation. He's not looking up anything. He's just enjoying the game. I guarantee you, if you do this and just play the game, not trying to beat the game, just play the game, I think you're going to enjoy gaming a little bit more because you're not looking to try to be the first to beat it. You're not looking to try to find where this goes or is this a secret? Is this not a secret? You're just playing the game. This is why people love Skyrim, right? To this day, they love Skyrim. This is why people like Fallout. This is why people like Red Dead Redemption. This is why people like The Witcher, because
Well,
that's why they like Cyberpunk.
because even after 200, 300 hours, you might find an area that you never been before.
Right.
Right? Because a quest doesn't take you there. It's something you have to find on your own. Right?
Yeah,
That's the fun about it.
John says it's off next 2 days. I'm just exploring. This is my vacation. Yeah. And John, I honestly don't look up anything. Don't look up other people's
Suffer a little bit.
Yeah, don't look up other people
Suffer
if
a
they
little bit.
like it or don't like it or whatever. Like, you own the game, just enjoy the game, right? And I know it's going to sound different because why not do this other game? This game is so gigantic, you can't beat it in 100 hours. Like, you could beeline it, but you're going to miss something. You're going to miss things. It's just like, go on vacation to Piewell. Enjoy yourself while there. I might pick it up tonight. I don't know. I might pick it up on Saturday and start playing because that's when I actually have time to play the game a little bit. But I don't know. I think this is regardless of what the score is on Metacritic when it comes out or whatever. This number here looks promising, right? So
I see a lot of the community probably starting off Discord servers just talking about what they found. Have you been here? Have you been here yet? Have you fought this guy yet?
Yeah.
Right?
I
like
think
a lot of that's going to happen because it's so big that you don't know where anybody is, right? And everything's not automatically marked on the map and you're just following it. Right? And the one thing I did hear from when you guys talking about this morning was the lack of fast travel spaces. Like,
there's puzzles that you can unlock fast travel spaces.
Right, you have to like build the fast travel.
There's
space.
one that you can build ACG,
and so they're already mad. They're like, the world's too big. I want to get around. I'm like, but that's what they want you to do. They made the world for you to look at, not for you to skip around it, right? Like, that's the reason why a lot of the quest markers weren't there in Skyrim is because they knew that if you fast traveled everywhere, you would just fast travel past everything.
If you never had that, that game would take 10 times longer to finish.
It absolutely would,
because you wouldn't know where that village is. You'd just be walking around going, oh.
You'd have to read the signs on the roads.
So the last thing I want to talk about before we go to Q&A is we talked about it a little bit. Actually, we already talked about it. We talked about Jeff Kaplan a little bit. We don't have to actually go. Actually, I want to talk about Jeff Kaplan a little bit. Not really about this quote that he said, because we kind of touched base on it earlier. I want to talk about it a little bit because when I was on vacation, Sarge, on the drive, I had 9 hours. So I had my little earbuds in and I listened to his podcast with Lex Fridman. And I have to say, it's probably one of the best.
If you haven't watched it, you should watch it.
Yeah, if you're interested,
Chad, if you haven't watched it and you like Lex Fridman at all and you want to hear about the gaming industry, you should go watch it.
If you're interested in any little bit of behind the scenes of the game industry, this is a great interview. 5 hours, 5.5 hours, I think it is, or whatever.
But not at 1.25 or 1.5.
No, right. It's at full regular normal speed. It's right. It is a wonderful interview, right? And it gives you a glimpse inside. And I had no stock on Jeff Kaplan. I knew who he was. I know where he worked for Blizzard and World of Warcraft and Overwatch. I know he's I'm Jeff with Overwatch, right? I understood who he was there. Okay. When I was watching this interview and listening to his interview, my stock rose on him because I found out that he was like 53 years old and that he was an MMO player and he played EverQuest, or as we call Evercrack. Okay. And he played it and he's one of us. Like, he is a gamer and he would shitpost the developers and the game design and all this other stuff, right? And because of this, right? And this is what hurts me, because him saying, shut the fuck up, no one cares. Okay. He did that. And he references this inside here, talking about when he says, I understand voicing your opinion. Kaplan said in the stream, entered in his 9th hour, right? He was talking about EverQuest. He acknowledges that his own often harsh shitposting about EverQuest design decisions acknowledged that he's given it out at times. But crucially, he said in 2000, EverQuest 1 design takedowns were at least motivated by having played the game in the first place. Now, when he was talking through how he got his job at Blizzard, I thought this was great. Right. In the podcast, he talks about how he was shitposting and that one of his guild leaders left and he became the guild leader of this clan that he was in with EverQuest. And there was people that were working for Blizzard that were also playing the game, and he met them through the game, didn't know they worked for Blizzard. They made a post for him to apply to get the job at Blizzard. Right. And they brought him in, and then when he was getting the job and he worked on the job, there was, I forget the gentleman's name. I think it was Robert. He knew Jeff because of his character in EverQuest, and that he was the leader of the clan, one of the most famous clans inside of EverQuest. Okay. And he was shocked about the guy because he was a fan of his because of a game designing purpose, whatever. Jeff had no experience in game design. He just was a gamer. He got his job, and so my stock is rising with this man. I was like, what a cool story. He got the job because he was just playing the game, shit poster, giving constructive criticism, and they gave him a job. So then he got the job with World of Warcraft and started working on World of Warcraft, worked his way up, got on Overwatch, told the history of Overwatch, how it was supposed to be an MMO and all these other things. And then on vacation, I watched his 10-hour stream of his game, The Legend of California. Now, he came out with a 10-hour stream of his brand new game that's in early access, okay? And he was talking about his game, and he's so open, right? So my stock is rising. I'm like, oh, cool. He's showing behind the scenes and how they're making this game with Unreal Engine and what takes place and what they're doing and what their thought process is and all this other stuff. And they're taking all this feedback. And I'm like, cool. But then in the 9th hour, he says this: shut the fuck up. No one cares. We don't need to hear you if you weren't into it. And I was just like, wow, how narrow-minded of this man who shitposted in EverQuest about the design because he played the game back then to get a job in the industry and then worked on one of the best MMOs of all time of World of Warcraft, okay, to just say, I don't give a shit what you think, because obviously you were in these shoes. And the difference between now and then is today, like I said earlier in the show, there's thousands and thousands of hours you could watch without ever knowing anything about the game and know everything about the game. You don't have to play it. So for him, stock was rising for me to say something stupid like this. I was like, Jeff, why did you have to say something like this? Now, I think it's out of context a little bit. And a lot of people that cover this, they bring up that quote of him saying, shut the fuck up. No one cares. But what they really should do is go back and give the quotes of all the stuff that he was talking about in positive about gamers and giving criticism and talking about what's good and how things work and all this other stuff. And they don't do that. And that's what kind of irks me a little bit, that there are people that I watch on YouTube that take stuff out of context to kind of give it, and I get it's their way of their narrative that they want to spin. Yeah, the spin that they want to do. But I'll be honest. I think what he said here, it's different from our perspective from playing games for 40 years and being in the industry. Because again, I'm in the film industry for 20 years, right? Your opinion on a movie is different than my opinion because I know how the inner workings happen. He understands the inner workings of the industry. And I understand what he's saying. Shut the fuck up. No one cares. Because at the end of the day, make a game, sell a game. So they're making the thing that they want to make. And if you don't like that, that's okay, because their vision is what their vision is, and they're going to put it out there. And if people like it, then they're going to like it. But then it comes into the business perspective of, well, if you're going to say stuff like this, you're going to hurt your sales. And I think him saying this is going to come back and bite him in the ass. And I think the game that he's making is actually a pretty good game. It's like a Rust meets Conan meets Valheim. And he even says it. He says, I just want a game that you want to hang out in. And the reason I bring this up is because of Crimson Desert. Crimson Desert is this game that the devs just want you to live in and hang out in. And that's what he's making, I think, with Legends of California, where he's like, he literally says he's making the game because he loves California. His dad was a big Western fan. He liked Western stuff and wanted to make a Western game about California. It's not a history. It's not a one-to-one like history lesson of California. It's just guns blazing, PvE type of stuff. If you want to play PvP, if you want to play with just your friends, if you want to play in a server, if you want to do, like, check out the game type of stuff. And this is not I'm not promoting it. I'm not in any way, shape, or form related to it or anything. Just a fan of, didn't know anything about Jeff Kaplan. Watched the 5-hour podcast and then watched the 10-hour stream. And I learned a lot more stuff about the industry and stuff. And I thought it was pretty good. So if you guys, again, don't watch it at regular speed. 10 hours is a lot of hours, but you learn a lot as he's just talking about the game design of what he's doing inside their game for Legends of California, and also for the 5 hours for Jeff, for Lex Fridman podcast. So there you go. That's all I want to kind of say, that it's not just as black and white as shut the fuck up. No one cares about what you're saying. There's way more into that if you watch the context of what he was saying through the 9 hours to get to the point where he said, shut the fuck up. No one cares type of thing.
Right. It was literally in the 9th hour.
Right.
It was right. Everyone said like it's just a play on words, but it literally was in the 9th hour. It was pretty funny.
And then his business partner says the same thing here. Let me say he kind of like jumps on it. It says, understand voicing your opinion. Kaplan said the stream enters the 9th hour, but like if a game comes out and you don't want to play it and you're never going to play it, shut the fuck up. No one cares. We don't need to hear that. Where you're into. Okay.
But that goes right back to the beginning of the show when we talked about if someone hasn't played the game but then talks it up, that's completely okay, right?
Right.
It's not if I talk it up, it's not shut the fuck up. But if I talk down on it, even though I didn't play it, then it's a problem.
Right. So I think he's actually doing another stream this Saturday. Then I think his business partner here, or his partner says acknowledges giving it out the times currently. He said this. Oh no, where is it? Oh, Ford. Kaplan's fellow former Blizzard dev says echoed his opinion by saying that it's not impressive to be awful as possible about something that you don't like. Yeah, but they're just kind of
but it's okay to lie and hype up a game to sell it.
Right.
So this this is my point.
Right. That's why it's not just black and white.
Right. You can't. It's a hypocrisy. Right. If I'm allowed to talk shit about something and I can praise it the same way, even though I didn't play it, it's the same game. Game.
The guy here, Tim Ford, says it's not difficult to shit on something. Ford said on stream. Apparently, it takes a ton of courage to say, "Hey, I actually like this thing." Yeah, but the person that says I like this thing, did they play it? Just like the person didn't play it and says he doesn't like it. You know what I'm saying? Like you're focusing on the thing that you want to focus on and not focus on the other thing. But they're both the same. They're both people just watching your game and then tell you if I like it or don't like it. Hence, what movie trailers are. Like, if I can tell if I want to watch a movie based on the trailer, that's the whole point of the movie trailer. That's the whole point of a game trailer. When it comes out, you look at the game trailer and go, that looks badass. I want to play that. Or this looks like shit. I don't want to touch it. Right? It's the same thing, but that's the whole point of the thing. You didn't
but if I watch a trailer a week before a game comes out and I hate the trailer, and then I spend the next 6 days online screaming about how I hate the trailer, the game looks like crap. The trailer looked like crap. In their eyes, I should shut the fuck up. But if I watch the trailer and I like the game, and I keep talking about the game looks awesome, now we're all good.
Right.
This is the hypocrisy that we're living in. Right.
And that's just it. Like, you have to take the good with the bad. You can't just hand wave one away just because you don't like. Now, obviously, you don't have to listen to the people to say, oh, go kill yourself or whatever. You don't have to listen to that. You could be like, oh, I'm going to take constructive criticism like he did 25 years ago when he was giving EverQuest, your game design is shitty and stuff like that. They could have went, I don't want to listen to this guy, but they did. And they fixed things. And they
hired him.
Yeah, they gave him a job.
They hired him.
Yeah, they gave him a job. So, all right. Q&A time, chat. If you have a question, put it in chat. Hit the Q in front of your question. Let me see. A couple of you put stuff. Travis put one already. If you have a question, put a Q in front of it. We'll go over a couple things. As we do this, there was a update for Starfield. We didn't talk about it, Sarge. But Starfield has an update coming out. It's coming out for PlayStation on April 7th. They did there's a
it's not just for PlayStation, is it?
No, it's coming out for PlayStation, and the updates happening.
Oh, the game is releasing on PlayStation, and there's a DLC.
Yeah. Okay. So there's a free DLC. It's called the Free Lane, and the Free Lane is now where inside the galaxy itself, there is no load screens anymore. Like, you can fly between the planets, okay, and you can get out of your ship and like walk around while your ship is flying. And then there's like these insurgents that happen, and like these battles that happen on planet, in space, different things. They've also fixed it where you don't have to go fly around and do the thing to get the point system anymore. You know, like the like you can do these missions. Yeah, you can do these missions, and you get these things called the X. It's what is it called? Oh, I have the wrong. Sorry.
Well, did they fix the glitch where you couldn't get all the powers in the first playthrough?
I don't know if they fixed that, but they have this thing called X Tech, and X Tech now you can use that to upgrade and level up your stuff. Okay. They also have a new DLC that's coming out that's $10, which is called the Terror Armada, okay, which is another faction that comes in, the robots that are trying to basically take over the humans or whatever. But obviously, there's a story behind that, so you're gonna have to figure what that is. That is $10. But if you already bought the premium, right? If you already bought the premium pack, then that's included. And if you buy the $50 for PlayStation, all the DLC, the Shattered Space, the new DLC, the whole game comes for $50 on PlayStation. So that's a good deal for them.
I don't even remember if I finished the first DLC.
The Shattered Space, I did on stream.
I don't know. I remember if I did it or not.
So they've done a couple of updates where basically there's like a new vehicle, there's new weapons, there's new faction, there's bigger ships and stuff that you can put in now, like different ship models.
Can I build my own town yet?
I don't think. Well, you could always build your own factory and stuff, but not a town. No,
yeah, can't build a town. I got you.
You could sort of build your own.
We're trying to bring back humanity, but I can't build any towns on 1,000 different planets. It's a little annoying to me, especially when that's part of the premise of this whole fucking game. Is humanity is on its last legs? We're trying to come back from the grave. I can't build new cities.
Yeah,
I can't build towns. I always found that up. I found that I was perturbed by that entire. I could build factories and gas stations and stuff for my ship, but I can't build the town. It bothered me a lot.
I like the fact that they're making it more like, I want to say like Star Trek, where you can have your crew and like you can talk to your crew, and then there's like stuff that happens, and then you have to like go do the incursion and stuff like that. Now they did say, because I brought this up, I said like when playing No Man's Sky, like if you get attacked by a bandit, like you keep getting attacked by a bandit, it becomes annoying. They did say in this update with the incursions that it says the incursions are designed to be revisited and offer repeatable high-level opportunities and test for new gear builds and combat approaches. But if you don't like it, you can decrease or increase the rate of incursions. So like if you look at it and go, it happens way too often, I don't want it to happen, you can change that, which is nice, because I hate the fact that in No Man's Sky, like you're like, oh, I'm flying away, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh, you're being attacked. You're like, oh, I gotta attack these guys, break them up, kill them, and then continue with my mission. It's like it stalls you, from just doing what you want to do. So, look, is this going to change Starfield forever? Is this the 2.0 moment? Todd Howard said, no, it's not a 2.0 moment. It's just more. If you like Starfield, this is more Starfield to like. I'll probably go back and do the DLC. I still think they hang on to their games too long. They need to move on to the next thing, man. They hang on for too long. You think they've hung on too long for Starfield? Yes. Well, they said they had to do 2 DLCs. This is the second DLC. That was 6 months delayed. Great. Right? You could have just stopped at the first one and not worry about it. I'm on a different perspective of, as far as like, I'm okay with the DLCs. I don't want live service. Like if you give me, but that's what it is. That's what they're trying to make it to be. Well, I guess, but if it's DLC, they did it with Fallout. They did it with Skyrim. They did it with all the other games. They had DLCs. Like every year, they would come up with a new DLC. We say this all the time. The only reason why we don't have Fallout 5 is because of Fallout 76. The only reason why you don't have Elder Scrolls 6 that's different. Is like because they're still working. They're still working on every Starfield. Week. You're updating Fallout 76. Like if once a year they come out with a DLC for Starfield, and like here's the DLC. It's 10 hours. Like that's like Far Harbor and all the other DLCs that were for like. All the other ones. But they were all released within a year and a half. Sure. 2 years max, now 5 years later. That's 5 years of that's 5 years of development time, bro. But what I'm saying is if they make something to buy, $10, $15 for that, and you want to buy that to increase your game, that's fine. Instead of waiting, going, all right, well, here comes the roadmap, and the roadmap says it's the next DLC that comes out. It's like, I don't want that. Just come out with stuff and be like, here's the DLC. If you want to buy it, it's $10, $15. It's a single player game. All right, we have a couple questions here. You guys can keep putting the questions in. Let's get to Q&A. All right. Let's get to the first question. Honestly, I don't know if I have time for Crimson Desert. That's not a question. I put that there. Travis says, I keep hearing it with games like Tainted Grail and Resident Evil 9, now with Crimson Desert. I keep hearing that the phrase reminds me of old school single player games, but what defines that?
Well, old school. I said it in chat. Old school means something different to each age bracket, though.
Yeah,
Like old school. See, old school for me would be platformers, flight sims, and the introduction of first-person shooters, because that's the 80s and the 90s.
I think what he's asking, I think what they're saying with the old school for this particular thing is like a Zelda, like a Mario. Like when you played the games, there wasn't hand holding. Like you had to figure stuff
Zero
out.
hand holding.
Yeah, you had to figure stuff out.
You
Like
had-
you were
right,
playing
you
Kid
had to figure it out.
Icarus or Metroid. There was no like lookup or anything like that. So obviously you can look up stuff now because of YouTube.
The
But
internet.
when they're talking about old school, it's going back to the old school way of just playing the game and enjoying the game. That's what I think they mean by the phrase old school. But I could be wrong.
Well, if we're going by that context, then it would mean no hand holding. Learn the game as you play. Meaning all aspects, like the mechanics, the weapons, all kinds of stuff. Like learning that what weapon you would need to use for what enemies on what level.
Right.
Like some people like to hang on to the sword for the entire game. Meanwhile, if you had just switched to the axe or the boomerang, you could kill guys. You can kill guys twice as fast, but you don't know that because you're stuck on the sword all the time because you love it so much.
Right.
But because no one tells you. But in the old days, you would keep swapping weapons to see, and the game was programmed that way. Like you'd be killing guys, and then you get to an area, and all of a sudden you realize that I got to hit this guy 5 times before he'll die. And so then you start thinking, well, do I change a weapon, or do I have to level up, or does the weapon have to be leveled up? And then you would experiment.
Right.
But it's
That's
not
the thing.
It's not telling you to experiment.
That's what I think old school is.
The mechanic in the game is it's taking you longer to kill a guy. What are you going to do about it? Well, I really like my sword. But the idea is they're telling you without telling you change weapons.
Altered says, will you be streaming Crimson Desert? I think this is a hard game to stream because like right now there's people watching a bunch of people play the game. And then once those people decide that they want to buy the game, they're not going to watch people play the game because they don't want to be ruined by someone else playing. This is the biggest problem with single player games like this. If I do play it, yes, I'll probably stream it, but I'll just do random things. Like I won't be working on like the main story or anything. And then 2, I might just play it off stream, record the gameplay, and then just put the raw gameplay up there for people to watch if they want to watch it. Next question is Starfield game of the year now that it released on the PlayStation 5? Me and Sarge joked about this earlier. I said, watch how many people like stop talking shit about Starfield because they actually play the game and they'll be like, oh, wow, this is actually a pretty good game, right? Again, the side missions are better than the main story mission, but I don't know if it's game of the year, but I think a lot more people will like it because it is a good game. It's not a great game, but it's a good game. It's another game that you can get lost in for a couple 100 hours easily. What do you think, Sarge?
I think we're going to see a new level of shit talking for Starfield because the PlayStation guys never got to play it, right? So you're going to get another round of shit talkers.
Round 2,
but at least they get the upgrades, right? At least they get the upgrades.
You get all the things, and it's cheaper.
And it's cheaper.
Yeah.
Right.
Next one is what will be your next survival adventure? I mean, I'll be honest. If the alpha comes out or early access, beta, whatever of Windrose, I would play that. Or the Legend of California. I'll be interested in playing that. And that's not a true survival, but there is survival elements in it. So it'd probably be one of those two. Or maybe I go back to Dune Awakening and play the story there. Or just the updates for Hytale. Sarge doesn't play survival games, so. Pone says, Sarge, do you recommend those headphones? I've been looking into a new pair. These are the same headphones. What do you think about them, Sarge?
The only thing I don't like about them is they look like they're put together well, but they're not. I'll tell you right now. You guys see like this white line right here by the headphone right in here? See this little thing right here?
I don't have it. Yeah.
You know what that is?
Yours came off. You couldn't put them on properly.
Right. The foam came off because the fabric that's underneath that holds them on is too short. And so if you move it too quickly or you pull it, it'll pop off. And so what I had to do to get it back in was to lay it on there and use a very small flathead screwdriver and poke it in there around like you're doing like a pizza, and go around to get it back in, right? Then on top of that, since it happens so many times, I put a rubber band in there, and the rubber band creates friction to keep it together now, and it hasn't come off yet. So I had to jerry rig it basically.
You got the same one as me, right? The HyperX,
and everyone knows about this. Gamers know about this. It has that plastic coating, and that plastic coating rips off.
You have to keep it moist. You got to
it rips off, and it goes down to foam, and it goes back down to foam. So
yeah, it dries out. Yeah, it dries out.
Yeah, yes. But besides those two things, I haven't had any cross. What's it called? The wires are decent because they don't break down. Yeah, the wires are good because if you have shitty wires, you get that static. Turtle shitty beats, right? You get that static. So far, how long have I had these now, Mike? This is like 4 years, right?
I want to say like 3 years.
3 or 4 years. So yeah, anything past 2, Pone,
is
good.
This is my second pair in 4 to 5 years.
This is 3 years.
Yeah,
I take care of them though. So
yeah, this is my second pair of these, and I bought one for my son as well. These are the HyperX. I think this is the Cloud. I don't know if I still have. I don't. I forget which. I think these are the Cloud, if I'm not mistaken.
I have the box.
They're around.
I have the box.
They're around like $100, something like that. They're pretty decent. Pony.
Well, they might be cheaper now. The newer version.
Yeah,
I think it was like a buck and a half.
Next question is Tempest. Tempest says, "Can we play Bad Company 2?" I mean,
I don't know if anyone's playing it.
I think you can. You might have to play it though through the portal.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I've tried it in a while.
I don't know if you can.
I still have my 360. It's back in the box in the closet.
Yeah, but if it's just 3 of us playing, it doesn't really help, right?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is there anybody actually in the?
We'll just have Tempest.
Yeah, but it might be hilarious. It might be hilarious to log on and find out that there's only 3 servers, but they're always full. Like, what's going on? This is
right.
People playing Bad Company 2. This is crazy.
Travis says, "Do you think there should be more trust with a company that does free updates, much as paid DLC? My thought is free update is done to make up for the mistakes. Paid DLC is new content, but what about y'all?"
I don't like to put labels on things. However, I don't like free DLCs because there's some kind of MTX somewhere inside the game. I don't want any more MTX. I want you to charge me for the DLC, but I also want you to finish the DLC.
That's what I said earlier. I would rather have DLC than the free roadmap stuff that they bring in, right? I feel like not only when they put DLC, I feel like they're putting more of their love and tender care inside that DLC, even though obviously games come out broke, buggy, and unfinished, but selling me a product, and again, also not marketing that DLC before the fucking game comes out. Right? The game comes out a week from, and they're already marketing the DLC that comes out a month from now. It's like, bro, sell me the game first. Once I'm included in the game and I feel like I got what I got out of the game, then you're like, hey, we got some DLC coming down the road. Cool. Right? I'm okay with that. I hate like what Destiny did back in the day with Destiny 1, where Dark Below and House of Wolves were advertised before the game even came out. Like it was like $60 for the game, and then it was $15 if you pre-ordered Dark Below and House of Wolves, right? And
it was a 60, 15, and 15,
$30. Yeah,
15 and 15.
Yeah. So it was just like, why are you advertising the DLC before? And this is where the whole thing came in, that they locked it behind the paywall and stuff like that.
Well, because they found the spot in the game where it was blocked off.
Yeah.
Yep.
Krebsy says, "Do you guys know Saber are the ones making KOTOR remake? Think we will see this this summer?"
Depends on what's going on. If they're far enough along, they'll show a trailer. But if they're not far enough along, they stay quiet because there's too many other big games that are coming out this year.
Maybe we see it this summer. They announce it this summer. Does it come out this year though?
That's a tough one, man.
Maybe
a lot of games coming out this year.
Maybe they show it. Here's the problem. If they announce it and Grand Theft Auto is still on schedule, Grand Theft Auto is November. When do you launch KOTOR? Do you launch it next March, April? Like, do they show it this summer and then bring it out, or do they get it out the door, show it this summer, get it out the door like August, September before Grand Theft Auto drops? I don't know. It's a good question. I'm going to say yes, we see it.
It is a remake. You could pop it out. People are going to want to buy it. Are going to buy it. You know what I mean? It's just a remake.
Yeah, I think we see it. I think we see it. I
love that game. I love that game.
Krebs,
you know what it is about the old games like that though, that we played, because we didn't grow up with high definition graphics the entire time, is your brain fills in the gaps, right? Yeah,
it's like a book.
If I show somebody a game that I played when I was in my teens, you'd be like, how do you even play this crap? It looks horrible. But meanwhile, when you played it, it was the best game looking at the time. Yeah. And so your brain fills in the details that you don't see.
My brain thinks Red Dead Redemption 1 is the same graphics as Red Dead Redemption 2.
Right.
Even though it's not.
It's not even close.
Not even close. Yeah. Same with Mass Effect. In my head, Mass Effect 2 has got like these like phenomenal graphics, but it really doesn't. But it has good graphics for what it was.
Yep.
Next question. When do you guys think you start to see a drastic measures to get taken from Marathon, like PvE, free to play, them backtracking today's dumb cryo weekend thing?
90 days total. They have 90 days to do. They have 90 days to do whatever they need to do to change direction.
I think they make big changes come in June.
That's the end of 90 days, bro.
Yeah, that's when they make big changes.
I think by then it's too late.
It is. That's why they make the big changes.
Well, they got to do it before then. They got to do it like before the end of April. They have to do it before the end of April. The big changes have to happen. If it's a slow slide, the entire time, they have to do the changes before April. Otherwise, that's it.
Do we think there's going to be no other PvP game, brand new game that comes out that doesn't steal things from people? I mean,
you know what? It's not even a fact of a PvP game. It's just a fact of any game that's worth your time. Any game that's worth your time.
True.
Let's put it this way. If the numbers for Crimson Desert are good, you don't think there's a little bit worse of a slide for Marathon because people are playing Crimson Desert? Or are you going to play this game where you say that people who play Marathon don't play Crimson Desert?
Well, no, that's why I was kind of bringing up what I said, no other PvP game, because I think the people that are playing that game, of course they play single player games, but I think they're more majority of them play more PvP games.
Yeah, I can't say that about anybody. Anybody can be playing any game at any
what
time.
I'm saying is a lot of people
I know how you're saying it.
I can't go over to Marathon. The people that move from Marathon might go play the next, Call of Duty or whatever it is. That's why I brought up
like my wheelhouse. My wheelhouse is narrow because I'm older now and I can only have a certain attention span for certain things, and my brain has to be challenged. Right? That's why I can only play certain things now. I can try to play the games that you guys play, but after a while, my brain just turns off. It's like I don't care. You know what I mean? Like I've been playing. Right. I've been playing so many types of games for so long. I know which ones hold my attention and which ones don't. And what I'm hope is the ones that don't hold my attention anymore, I hope that somebody comes out with a better version of it that will want my attention.
Well, not only are you competing with live service games, you're also competing with single new player games. You're also competing with the games that have been out that are now updating. Right. So like Division's updating their game with a survival, and they have the new DLC coming out and stuff like that. So We'll see. Next question is, Krebsy says, do you think the FPS genre needs to detox and time out of the light for a year or two? The top games are bleeding players' attention. Could GTA 6 be used as a time away genre needs?
I don't know about genre needs, but I think GTA 6 is going to be a black hole for a good 6 months.
Yeah, I think GT comes out. It's a massive storm that comes in and
it's going to suck the air out of the room.
And
by the way, a lot of people who play GTA, remember, they play it for the story, then they move on. Remember that.
Yeah, like most people.
The diehard guys that play the shark cards or the online forever, like that's a different group of people. Like you may try online, but you're not playing it like religiously, like you were playing the actual story, right? Like I played GTA 5. I played it maximum through the entire story and all the side things possible. And then I played online for like 2 or 3 months. And I'm like, okay.
And that was it. Yeah, we did the heist. We did the heist.
Because I kept waiting for the damn things to come out. They waited too long.
It was 18 months for the heist thing. I do think that, I think games like what we see now with Crimson Desert that's sort of like a detox a little bit, right? Like get away from the PvP every day, maybe just go play some single player stuff. I think it's I think the Grand Theft Auto is going to be definitely a black hole, like Sarge said, when it comes in. And I think that could be the time away. But I think Crimson Desert's that. I think there's going to be other games that come out. Pal World is coming out with their 1.0. Like that could take people away. Very popular game. You know what I mean? So maybe that takes people away from the PvP type of games and goes with co-op games are big now. Like the co-op friend, I don't want to call it friend slop, but like the co-op 4-player, Valheim, Ark, not Ark, Ark Survival, Conan, like that cooperative type of game takes people away from.
Well, they should be working on co-op games that are cross-play that are actually really good and get people involved again.
I think that's happening right now
because the 4-player game is something that you play on the weekends. You wouldn't play that during the week.
Well, like
your friends are busy and working, right? But your friends get together on the weekend and you guys play. Yeah,
you got Helldivers 2, you got Space Marines, there's a lot of little games that you can all play together. Chopper Eric says, do you think the stuff shown off at the DLSS 5 was more for developers, given the time of being unveiled and the rest of the public making noise overreacting to it now? I mean, it wasn't shown at GDC. It was shown at GDC, which is a game developer conference. So I would assume, yes, it was for the developers.
Well, what's your feeling, Eric? Do you think that they did it as a warning for developers, or for the developers? Like they showed you this to show you, like, hey, you guys need to step up your game because this is what we can do now. Because in my mind, if I was an artist and I was shown that, then I'd be like, well, what do you need me for? Right? Because someone can do a worse job than me, and you guys are just going to clean it up. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm not sure if that's a good or a bad thing. It might be like, to me, that sounds like a flex. To show DLSS 5 to developers almost seems to me like a flex, because then it shows that we don't need you, or we don't need to pay you as much, right?
Right.
That's how I would look at it.
Start looking for a new job. Yeah, it was definitely it was at the game developer conference, so it's definitely for developers and the upper management, because again, developers that weren't at the conference didn't know it was happening, and like companies like Ubisoft,
right? Why would you not tell them?
Capcom, Bethesda all said, yeah, you can use our footage and stuff like that. That they gave them permission to do it. So, I don't think the public's overreacting either. I definitely don't think they're overreacting. The public is the barometer of what companies are going to make money off of and not make money off of. And if we make enough noise, then it changes. Do you know what I mean? Like, don't ever think for 1 second when everyone's like, all this hate and all these people talking shit. Constructive criticism, not people just shit talking. Even the shit posters, if they're giving constructive criticism and also telling you to go, eat a dick, they're giving you constructive criticism, but they're giving you in a vulgar language. They're your player base. They're your customers. They're telling you, we don't want to buy this shit. Make this, and then I'll buy this, right? So I don't think we're overreacting. I think if they want to do that, it's a bold move, Cotton. Let's see if it works out for them, type of thing. Alexander Smith says, favorite game from the 90s, 2000s, and 2010s. 2010 is real easy for me. 2000,
you mean the O's, the double O's?
Double O's.
The double O's is Battlefield.
Well, for me, it's Red Dead Redemption, Battlefield Bad Company, and then 2010s, it's Mass Effect 2, and then Red Dead Redemption 2, because it was 11, 18. That's the 10s. In the 2000s, it was Bad Company and Red Dead Redemption in 2008. So you got like the 2000. I think it was like what 2006, 2008, 90s.
That's a tough one. I'm trying to remember Halo.
That came out in 2001.
Well, this says OOs. Oh, you're about the double O's completely.
I'm talking about the 90s. The 90s is.
Oof.
I'm trying to think of the 90s. 90s would have to be a sports game for me. I think I would have to go with Ken Griffey Jr. Baseball. Would be my go-to game back then.
Trying to think what I was playing.
I'm trying to think of another game.
NHL hockey. I played a shit ton of NHL hockey.
97.
90, 92, 93, and 94.
I'm trying to think
sure.
of, for some
Hockey.
reason.
Yeah, the wrestling game.
When did Grand Theft Auto come out? 3. That came out in 99.
Oh God,
I gotta look that up.
I think that was the beginning, or the right at the end. 99 or 2000.
Nope, that's 2001. That's
Yeah.
2001.
Yeah,
So-
the wrestling game. 90s was wrestling
WCW versus NWO.
versus NWO.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with King Griffey Jr. baseball, and I can't think of another one. So there you go. There's my my games for you.
well, the 10s.
I gave you
for the-
multiple games.
For the 10s, it would be Skyrim and Destiny
I like
and Borderlands. Skyrim, Destiny, and Borderlands for the 10s.
Mass Effect and Red Dead Redemption 2. Mass Effect 2 and Red Dead Redemption 2 are games of all time. I love those games.
Well, I'm just talking about like hours played. Like
Yeah,
I
yeah,
played
yeah.
Mass Effect,
Yeah.
but I didn't put as many hours into it as I did the rest of these. Like Borderlands 2, bro. I played 6 characters to OP.
Oh yeah,
8.
well, hours wise, Destiny. I mean, 2014. I mean, I should put a shit time in Defiance too. But Alexander Smith says his next question is: see any good movies lately? No.
No.
I couldn't even tell you the last movie I saw. I can't even. I'm trying to think. I saw a movie.
I'll be honest with you. I think the last movie I saw in the theater was Deadpool Wolverine.
The last movie I saw in theaters was a kids film with my son, but I couldn't tell you what it is because I don't remember. The next movie I will see is Super Mario Galaxy, the whatever Mario 2 that's coming out. That's the next movie I'll see in theaters. I haven't watched show. I can tell you a show. The last show I watched, I don't know if you watched Murders in the Building. I just finished up the last season of Murders in the Building. It's a good show if you like it. It's good writing. And then just a stupid show that I like, because I like sitcom type of stuff. Tim Allen has a show called Shifting Gears with Kat Dennings. It's real cheesy, but they don't make a lot of sitcoms anymore. And that's on, I think, Hulu, if I'm not mistaken. That's pretty good as well. So, let's see. Altered says, would there be any Star Wars Galaxy streams? No, that's my game to play off stream. And then
Like,
also
for normal people, it'd be like watching paint dry.
yeah. Did you hear Brain Eclipse or Eclipse posted today that someone is working on, it's coming back out, Marvel Heroes, the MMO that was that I played a shit ton of.
Marvel Heroes.
Yeah, it's like DC Universe Online, but it's Marvel.
I don't think I remember that one.
It was
Somebody's
remember-
doing like
Marvel Heroes Omega. Did you remember that one? No, I don't think you played it, but that's coming out, and as soon as it's super easy to download and play, I'm all in there. That's my other. I'm going back playing Star Wars Galaxies and Marvel's Heroes. I love it.
I'll take a look at it.
Yeah, it's good. And the last question, Tempest says, for Sarge, any truth to the rumors that you have been dating Kylie Jenner? I heard a TMZ is working on a story.
No, it's complete and total fallacy.
Yeah, there you go.
She's not my type.
Yeah, I mean, I'll play Aku off stream, but I don't know. I don't think. I mean, obviously, I play random games all the time, so not to say I'm never going to play Star Wars Galaxies, but it's really just a game I play randomly as we as I see fit. I went back and played Brighter Shores for like an hour yesterday, and they've added a lot of stuff to that game. I haven't played that in I want to say 8-9 months. All right. That, my friends, is another Generation X Gaming weekly podcast. Episode, what are we at? 481 is in the can. We do appreciate you very much for coming out and hanging out with us each and every single week here on Thursday nights on 30 NSG. If you're over on Twitch, we do appreciate you as well. And if you're over on Twitter, thank you very much for watching as well. You guys can help us out here by hitting that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you guys go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. You can also pick up the merch that we have. We have the planned shirt, the no pre-orders, no day one, no full price for a half-ass game. You can pick up the merch in the apparel down below. Links in the description. You can also help us by listening to some of the music that we've created. I've written the music. It's made by AI, but you can go on to Spotify, iHeart, Pandora. It's called Perk Up Press Play. Volume 1 and 2 is up there. We have over 63 songs that you can listen to. 3 hours of content basically is up there for you to listen to, and they're fun. They're interesting songs. They make you move, get you hyped up. Maybe you're working out, pumping some iron. Maybe you just want to, kick a cat or something. I don't know, right? But so, yeah, it gets you moving. Appreciate it very much. You guys have a great rest of your day, evening, or night, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching.
Game on, guys.
Retro meets the now and here. Gaming tales you need to hear. Laugh and shout and sometimes sneer. Memories from all those years. Console wars and secret tips. Tips and tricks from pixel trips. News that pours from gaming sips. Critical